The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Damn, damn, damn!
All right, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday night and we are back. Joe, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Hello, everybody.
Just so everybody knows, Joe is that wall behind Joe is real, and if you see it moving, you're just hallucinating. Hey, Janice, welcome.
They're tripping.
Zim, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys, what's up?
So the other night, Johnny Bean was live, and I was like, why is Zim's internet so good tonight? He had great internet last night, Zim.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. It might have something to do with the temperature.
Yeah, it sounds all right now, too.
Yeah, it looks pretty good right now, too. I was just thinking that.
All right, everybody. Juke Bizzle is in the chat. That is Jukebox Jimmy. Everyone can just call him Jukebox. That's what we always call them. Jukebox used to work with me at West LA. Good to see him here. Good to see everybody here.
Jimmy's got a jukebox he wears on his chest.
And when Daddy comes home, he never gets no rest. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I saw the comments about Saturday night. Yeah, we had a fun night. So Jimmy does this show on Thursdays, I believe, with Kenny. And Kenny came down to wanted to sit in with us. And he was like kind of hesitant about it. I was like, no, get in here. And we had a blast. Now, if I can make that a thing down there, I will. It's funny. It was just serendipitous that we filmed it. I said to Jim when I came down that night, I said, "You want to film tonight?" And he goes, I could flip a coin about it. I didn't care either way. I said, fuck it, let's do it. I haven't done one with you in a while. And there was a couple of people that were thinking about booking a show of me and Jim. And I said, why not have something new? So then we were filming and Kenny came and it just, it really worked out. You got a Mockingbird, Zim? Where's that Mockingbird? Oh, I see it. It's that teal blue.
Bronze series. Nothing fancy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So pickups in there.
Nice. Pickups are one of those things like they could be good or not. But, so many people in the 80s used to take out, I think it was called Golden 50s. They were the Schaller pickups called Golden 50s. They were fucking awesome. And people were pulling them out of a Kramer Berettas and putting in Seymour Duncans. And I'm like, I felt like I was in that Cheech and Chong first album. Honorable General, sir. So, are you out of your fucking mind? Crazy.
Or they were
remember that Cheech and Chong bit with the guy?
The old Gibsons and putting like super distortions in the old Gibsons.
Crazy. Well, back then, that was the only way a lot of people thought you could slam the front end a little hotter Meanwhile, all you needed was a treble boost pedal or any type of pedal that has a drive, and just turn the volume up. Use it as a who's
Sorry about
that?
that.
Oh, yeah, Mikey Newman. They are fantastic. But yeah, you could use it. Just any boost will give you that effect of what those early bad amps, when they couldn't break up, especially the plexis and stuff like that, and some of those Fenders where they didn't break up nice. But yeah, I mean, you could just use a pedal and still keep the integrity of the amp. And the reason why, hey, Gary Moore passed again. Wait, did Gary Moore die again?
What happened? No, I don't think that's possible. He's been gone for years now.
I think it's 11 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, unless we're talking about Gary Moore, the game show host, which would have 2 R's in the Gary. And he was the host of I've Got a Secret and To Tell the Truth. And I believe he's been dead for 30 years.
Gary Moore passed away February 6, 2011.
11, yeah. So I was 12 years.
Oh, today is also the date Elvis died in 1977 on this day.
Yes.
You know what today is actually the anniversary of, Dave?
What's that?
I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I've actually watched a couple of Elvis movies the last couple of nights for some stupid reason.
You can't go wrong with an Elvis movie because they're
I think
fun.
there are 3 celebs that died on this day.
Well, today is the anniversary of the release of your favorite movie to watch on Prime, Event Horizon.
Ooh, is today's the last day?
No, it's the anniversary. It was released this on this day in, I think, 97.
Oh, let me say this. Do you see? Do you see? Oh, I love Event Horizon. Folks, if you haven't seen Event Horizon, it's supposed to be a horror. It's kind of creepy, but there's some great comedy in there. We got a distress call. Yeah, you're running towards that distress call. They're speaking in Latin. It sounds like people are getting bludgeoned to death. Yeah, let's rush over there. Let's rush to Neptune to save these people who have no chance in hell of surviving. Great stuff. I love Event Horizon. Anyways, you know what I've been watching lately on this? We'll get back to music. We're going to have a music-rich day today. But before we get back to music, I've been watching a channel on YouTube called, let me think if I can think of his name. I'm blanking on it now. Hold on. It is something the Icon. Ravi? No, not Ravi. What the hell's his first name? Rami the Icon. And this guy works in a shop in Los Angeles selling Nike sneakers and, some high-end Adidas. And speaking of sneakers, here's Krell Bar. But anyways, this guy Rami, he basically has a sneaker shop and people are coming in with sneakers and he looks at them and he's like, oh, these are fake. Okay, these are great. They've never been worn. I like these. I'll give you 900. I'm like, excuse me, for a pair of sneakers, you're giving this guy 900. If you want to see how insane the secondary market of Nike sneakers is, you have to watch this channel. His channel is Rami the Icon. Last year, he had 10,000 subs. He's over 1 million now.
No, he's close to 1 million. 940,000. I put the link in the chat.
Oh, okay. Watch this guy. I enjoy it. But it's nuts when you see families and everybody knows him and he's flipping for dollars. And it's it just goes to show you, and I think I've never thought about really when I looked up who the biggest sneaker salespeople were, and Nike wasn't in the top 4. I was like, you know what? That secondary market has to be killing them. Because these guys are selling. I mean, it's nuts. You have to I'd say watch a video or 2, and then you'll get back to me and tell me it's insane what's going on there. But I enjoy his channel.
I wear Vans. I wear Vans every day. Okay.
Well, I like Skechers because I have wide feet.
We have a movie recommendation
every day.
When I do cardio, I wear Saucony.
I'm barefoot like Fred fucking Flintstone. I almost cooked my feet the other day going to get the mail.
Vans.
We have a movie recommendation in the chat.
Room 37.
There's
Room
the outlet
37.
mall over here in Tempe, Arizona,
From New
and
York
they've got a
Bulls.
Vans outlet. And I went over there about 3 or 4 months ago. And if you buy one pair of Vans at the outlet, you get the second pair for half price. The first pair is $29.99. The second pair is half price. So
Yeah.
for $50, you walk out of there with 2 pair of high top Vans, about 10 pair of Vans. And I was carrying 7 boxes full of shoes out of the mall one day where it was killing my arms because I bought 10 pair. And then this toe over here on my right foot, they started to kind of rip into my toe over here. And so now I have like 10 pair of brand new Vans that hurt my feet.
You got to bring them down to the store in LA. They'll give you $24 for them. No, I'll tell you. So they have the outlet stores here, and I went there, got a couple of pairs of Skechers recently, and I
Have them
bought
plucked.
some new Sauconys.
Skechers are awesome. Yeah, I should have went Skechers.
I mean, they're fine. I mean, to me, it's like just about the comfort in the foot. I think these Nikes, especially all these Air Jordan stuff, and people are wearing them once, and they have closets full of them. I think it's nuts, but I'm not a hip kid. You know what I mean? I'm an old man, so I don't recognize or relate to that type of thing.
Well, it's like collecting sports cards. I mean, like, there's no real value to it, but it's like, it's a hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you cut holes in the jar to let the bees breathe? Nah, it's only a hobby. That's actually a line from an old record called "When You're in Love, the Whole World Is
What do
Jewish."
we got?
Oh,
What do we got?
Ooh, hold on. Let me boost
Fuck,
him.
he froze.
No, he's back.
Wetworks. And
Nice.
this guy's
Oh,
name is
dang.
actually Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
my
a comic
singer
book,
gave this
Image
to me.
Comics.
Removable
So the lead
combat
singer in my
jacket and,
band-
and belt.
Yeah, back in the 80s, my lead singer, he always wanted to, his name is Star, he always wanted to get himself his own toy store together. So
Right.
back in the 80s, he would buy this kind of stuff. Now he currently has a garage full of toys that are just in boxes all the way to the ceiling. And because the writers and everything in Hollywood, because he works in Hollywood, they're all on strike right now. So he hasn't worked in 3 months. So he's been selling toys on eBay. And he
Hey,
said he
ask
did
him how
like
much he
12
wants
grand
for
last
Stretch
month
Monster.
Listen,
selling toys.
I survived for 3 years selling my toys and other shit.
Yeah,
But
Dan,
Wetworks was
ask him
a,
if he has a Stretch Monster.
he probably does.
Wetworks was a comic book that came out in Image Comics by Will Spertaso. That's when all the guys from Marvel went and did their own thing at Image.
I have a couple
Did not know
announcements to make.
Go ahead.
I sold a guitar.
What'd you sell?
I sold my Harley Benton hollow body for $350.
That's the guitar
Great
you said
job.
you would never sell.
No,
Okay.
no, it isn't.
I'm kidding.
The one back there is, but another announcement is the last new guitar I bought, last new gear day I had was in 2018. That
What'd
has
you get?
changed.
Uh-oh, what'd you get?
Let's play a guessing game. I'm fond of Super Strats, but it's not a Stratocaster.
Ernie Ball.
No, I'm thinking
Oh, so it's a Super
RG.
Strat.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
but it's not a Fender.
Ibanez
Right, I
RG.
understand that.
It's price $650.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Nope.
Ibanez.
Schecter.
Nope. There's a lot of hype about it. It's one of those. There's been hype about it since
You
like
bought a
2000.
vintage.
Sire.
But that's a good guess. That's a good
Charbel.
guess. I always want to try one of those.
Andrew,
What'd you
Andrew Collins
say?
said
What'd you
Charbel.
say? What'd you say, Dane?
A sire.
There you go. I got the Sire Larry Carlton Super.
How is it? I've been looking at these sires. I'm getting interested.
It's coming in on Friday.
Oh, special
Sire.
Friday night show to unbox.
Saya, you look like the
Piss
piss
boy.
boy. And you
Excuse
look
me.
like a bucket of shit. Yeah, the Sayas look good. I played the vintage reissues, and they're friggin' excellent.
Yeah, I heard
for
good
the-
things about those too.
For the price, they're really good. They got them over at South Shore Music in Weymouth. Really,
South Shore
really
Weymouth.
good.
Wow, I've never been there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I go to Matt's, and I've gone to what's that? Music Around.
Oh, South Shore Music's in Weymouth Landing. It's really right now the Braintree Weymouth line. It's good. And that's where that diner is that I like, Jimmy's Broad Street Diner. That's where I found that coffee.
Yeah, what it is, years ago, they used to sell the ESP snappers, and I like the look of those. And they had the LTD ones, but they had the Edwards back then, which is basically ESP that they were selling for like around $700. Always wanted to try it, but I never got around doing that. And it's worth a try. I mean, Sire's a company that it's in Indonesia. Apparently,
yeah, so are the
really
vintage.
Good. Yeah, and
they're probably made in the same factory because those vintage were really nice.
They wind
very
their own
light
pickups.
wood.
They don't outsource the pickups. They wind their own pickups, and so neither here nor there. But I mean, like I heard some good reviews for the last year and a half.
I hear some.
And I
things.
said, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to just do something.
Why not?
Actually,
I'm trying to dump a couple of guitars.
5 years.
I had a guy try to give me his Sir guitar for one of my Strats. I'm like, I'll take an amp for it with some money, but I'm not taking a straight up trade of another guitar because I don't need the guitars. I'm sick of the guitars. But I've been watching that Headfirst channel guy in Australia. And his channel's great because he's taking Joe, you talked about owning a tube amp.
Yeah.
And the tube amp that I would suggest that you buy would be like a 20 watt, the 20 watt Origin from Marshall.
Really?
Now you can find these used in Facebook Marketplace.
Is that a head or a combo?
Head. Or you can get the head. $300 to $400. Then the guy shows you can take it to somebody. They switch out about $30 in parts and make that amp sound like a monster. You got to go to his channel. It's Headfirst. Really good. Really, really good stuff. As you can see, I took all my little guys down. I thought it was looking too cluttery up there.
Oh, the Pop Funkos.
Yeah, I mean, I got them over here.
Headfirst amplification?
Yes.
All right, let me put the link in the chat if anyone's interested.
Little Devo guy. But yeah, I cut him over here because they just got in my way up there. This guy does the Jakey Lee mod to these amps, T-Boys. But yeah, the Jakey Lee Friedman 20 watt. But this guy will do that Jakey Lee to the Plexi or the JCM 800 2203 20 watt studio. It just amazes me how Marshall can't get it right out of the box.
Well, I think I just happened upon the video by accident, so let me get the link for it.
That
Marshall Origin 20 Headfirst mod, tones and modding.
Yes. It just surprises me that these guys do these mods and they play the amps. You're like, oh my God, that's what the amp should sound like. Because that Origin is a stinker. And if somebody doesn't know they can mod the thing or they don't want to deal with it, they're going to let it go for cheap. That's how you buy gear. Let me tell you, you want to move, I forget the line. You want to move cheap lighting, and that's how you move merchandise. Seinfeld, it's when they got Jerry's father working for Jay Peterman.
Oh, okay.
Cheap,
I gotta.
What does he say? Cheap fabric and bad lighting. That's how you. What's the line? Now I got to look it up. Barney Martin's line. Cheap fabric and dim lighting. That's it. Cheap fabric and dim lighting. That's how you move merchandise. Yeah, the Jet City stuff is okay, but these guys do mods for these things that really make them nice. I'll tell you one amp you really can't mod and make sound good is that JCM 900, 4100 or 20, or 41 or 4500. That dual reverb amp is a lot worse than I thought it was. I actually ended up looking up the schematic on it, and it's awful. It's basically a guitar pedal disguised as an amplifier. You know what I mean? It's a lot of op amps and clipping diodes going through one tube stage, V1. It's really bizarre. You'll have to look at that,
How
Krell. And
Yeah.
how bizarre. My wallet's gone. My wallet's gone. That's a great one, Cold Roses. He's
What
looking
amp
at
is
pulling
that,
out.
Dave?
What's that?
What amp was that, Dave?
The one I mentioned?
Yeah.
The Marshall Origin?
I put the link
Oh,
right there.
that's the one with the op amps.
Oh no! It's called the JCM 4100. It'll be the dual reverb, high gain dual reverb.
20 watts
look-
would be too much for me.
What is?
20 watts would be way too much.
Yeah, but the Origin goes down a half a watt.
Oh, okay.
The Origin you can knock down, and it doesn't do it the same way that the other heads do it. It doesn't do it through pentode and tri-mode. It does it through a different way where you can get the amp to 5 watts or half a watt. But I'm just saying, if there was ever an amp for you to invest in, it would be that with the mod, with the Jakey Lee mod. You'd be crushing it in your room.
Finding someone to mod it would be a bitch.
No, it's not
'cause
that hard.
if you found it up here, I could always pick it up for you, and we could deal with. I could have a guy look at it. I have a guy.
I got a guy.
Oh, I didn't wake my
you
speakers up.
Hey, Jables, everybody, Jables.
I
You know
bring
who
it-
was?
I bring it to the
Wake
Chinaman.
up, speakers.
I bring it to
You
the
know who was?
Chinaman.
Whoa. Sorry.
You know who was in the? You know who was in the chat? Jables is Jukebox Jimmy.
Oh, no shit.
Jukebox Jimmy.
How's he doing?
Good.
Jim Fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him on the show sometime. He was gonna come on tonight, but then
He's got stars
he had.
in his
Yeah,
eyes.
there he is. He's Juke Bizzle. He had Krellbar helping him with his computer. No, I'm kidding. I mean, Krellbar. He had Kovar helping him with his computer.
Kova.
Okay.
Mark, no, he didn't. He hasn't seen Kovar in a long
A
time.
Kavorka.
Yeah.
You got the
Walk
Kovar?
in.
Well, I hope Kovar's doing okay. Rumors.
So, John,
abound.
have you seen this guy before? When you came on, we were talking about headfirst mods. Have you seen? He does a lot of the Dave
Yeah.
Friedman mods. He's supposedly
Australian
friendly
guy.
with Exactly.
Yeah, I know who he is.
He does that Origin mod, which I'm pretty sure is probably the same Origin mod that Friedman does. It makes it like a Jakey Lee type of thing. Makes it high gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Dave both, I think, do a bunch of different Origin mods.
Yeah. Well, I'll say right now, Dave Friedman's mod to the Marshall Plexi to make it the Van Halen sound is the most Van Halen sounding amp I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I listened to
people-
it last week when you sent it to me. It was great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That Japanese
And you know what's-
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Yeah, he does the Origin 50. He does both the 20 and the 50. What's funny is, so Dane was on Johnny Bean show, and Johnny Bean might pop on later, or we're going to try to do a different night
cool.
for Johnny Bean. But Dane was on this show, and you guys were all talking about, I saw them in 2013. I saw them in 2015. They're talking about seeing Van Halen and being in front of Van Halen. And let me just say this.
Yeah.
Van Halen's one of my, if somebody put a gun to my head and said top 3 favorite guitar players of all time, Eddie's in the top 3 for me.
Mhm.
Some days he's number 1. Some days he's number 2.
He's just
Some days
behind
he's
Paul
number
Stanley.
3. Yeah, right behind Paul Stanley.
That's
But I saw him live on the Truth. What's that album called? Certain Truth, Partial Truth,
Yeah,
half-tone
Different
different
kind of
kind of truth. Okay.
different, yeah.
His guitar tone for that show was abysmal. It was abysmal. It sounded like a half-cocked wah and then only going through a bright fucking pass. It was terrible. And in fact, the guy that I was with, who's a big Van Halen fan, he goes, "Is it me or does this tone suck?" I'm like, "It sounds like shit."
It was Pepto Abysmal. It upset my stomach.
No, but you know what I'm saying? People, I mean, and these guys were saying, "Oh, I was in 2015. I'm right across from the stage." That sound was terrible. And anyone that tells me they've seen Whitesnake in the last 10 years, please, Coverdale can't sing. I don't know what the hell happened
Yeah.
to him.
Weren't
And he looks like a lesbian woman, an elderly lesbian woman.
you and I were at that White Snake show in like what, 08?
10, I believe.
Was it that late?
Was it? It was Judas Priest was the headliner
Yeah.
doing British Steel.
Yeah.
What a show, Ben.
Yeah. White Snake.
I've
wasn't
seen
there.
a
I
lot of
covered
bands.
White
I'd
Snake,
never
though. It
seen.
wasn't very good.
Never seen Whitesnake.
Bingham was going crazy when Priest came out.
I was.
Now, Dave, there's a video floating around out there of Eddie Van Halen doing a guitar solo that's totally crap with a lousy tone, and it's awful. It's like he was drunk or something. Was that the toy you saw him on?
It was a different kind of truth.
Different kind
And
of truth?
like I said, it did not have his tone. It was really bright and weird. And at the same time, it had this nasal mid-range tone where I was just like, the guitar was unlistenable. I thought it was.
What year are you talking?
I think it's 2012 or 11.
Okay. So was he using a wall of EVHs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that amp is bright and nasal. It certainly can be. If Eddie's like, it's funny, the presence knob on that amp, it's like subtle, 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 and then it's like go crazy. Like the last little bit, it's almost like it pulls the whole negative feedback circuit out, and it's just blaringly bright. And I wonder if he sets it up like that, like a.
It was the weirdest. I was there with Holmes, and the two of us
are,
were like, "This tone stinks."
Well, some of these guys are deaf.
I put that video in the chat.
Like Warren DeMartini is like deaf, from what I understand, and I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie was as well. So they go out there with this crazy tone.
Oh
they think it sounds good because they're deaf.
Yeah, completely.
You guys don't hear this, do you? Hang on. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
You do?
The beeping?
I don't know what it is, but I hear it.
No, I mean it stops because your noise gate cuts it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's actually a video I posted in the chat. The awful solo, Van Halen, awful tone, awful.
Oh, okay. No, and again, I'm not trying to diss Eddie, but when people are saying like it's a big deal to see him in the later years, I'm like, I don't know. I think the earlier years his tone was better, and you know, I don't want to just keep picking on Van Halen, but it's like we're talking about. Remember how last week we talked about when people leave certain bands? Were you here, Dane, for that? And I said when Van Halen, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, they both went downhill.
That was 2 weeks ago.
The thing
that was the
is,
last time I was
on Wednesdays I have band practice at 8:00, so I cut out.
Oh, okay. Oh, so but my
I
point
got band
was
practice in 2 hours.
nice. I think that like Uli Roth, when Uli Roth left the Scorpions, I liked both their separate careers better. I like the Electric Sun, and I like I love Matthias. You know, that more commercial side of the Scorpions.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually,
no one loves Klaus
you could
Meine like
argue
Bingham.
that Matthias,
My favorite.
you could argue that Matthias came dangerously close to having a Van Halen tone, and the way he played his riffs back in 82, 83, it was almost like a page from Van Halen.
Yeah, he was the German, you know, he brought a pop element to that band, musical pop element, where I feel like every song he didn't feel like he had to sit there and bust his nut. You know?
The Blackout album was 1982, that kick-ass album.
I love that album. It's a great album.
Oh yeah. When the smoke is going down, China White, fucking Arizona.
I saw a little clip on Instagram of Nuno Betancourt in an interview, and the guy was asking him, "Who are your top 5 most underrated guitar players?" And Nuno fires off his, and none of them I think are underrated that he mentions. But
go ahead. Who did he mention?
Well, the one that he was given a lot of credit to was Neil Schon, and I was like, I didn't know Neil Schon was underrated. I thought everybody thought he was fantastic, but
oh no. I think
he's
underrated. Underrated.
You think he is underrated?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I think because he's much more than just Journey.
I think people dismiss him though as sloppy. I've heard some people talk bad things about him, and I'm like, you guys are mental.
Yeah, he's
Guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's really good. But
Agreed,
that
T-Boys.
was the one that was you just mentioned a moment ago. Somebody bringing Michael Schenker bringing a I'm sorry, not Michael Schenker, Matthias Jobs.
Matthias, yeah.
Yeah, Matthias Jobs bringing a commercial element
Yes.
and still being able to kind of shred like Eddie did, and Neil Schon would be in that camp as well.
Yeah.
You want the list of 5?
Oh yeah, let's hear the list of 5. This is Nuno Betancourt's 5 underrated guitarists. All right.
It's a 1 minute and 37-second video, so I'm going to say him as it's playing. But he starts with Neil Schon.
All right. Well, that'd be a number 1, maybe.
I got to see Neil Schon's son Miles play last month when I went up to the casino. He was in a
Elliot Easton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Definitely underrated.
but I don't know if Elliot's underrated. Everyone that mentions him always says he's fantastic.
Yeah, well, if you're in the guitar playing community, but outside of it, it's like, there's a lot of like the regular listeners of music that go, oh, that guitar player is great. A lot of people will say Jimmy Page is great, and he is great. But, a lot of non-guitar players will say it. But with Elliot Easton, you don't get too many.
I would say regarding Elliot Easton does not get thrown into the list of accomplished guitar players from the perspective of like a hard rock or a metal guitar player. Whereas hard rock and metal guitar players all day long will be like, oh yeah, Jimmy Page is great or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't mention Elliot Easton. In that regard, he's underrated.
I agree with that.
The thing with Elliot Easton is that he could versatile. I mean, like he could put any type of style into any type of song and make it work.
All the lead stuff in oh shit, why can't I just just what I needed.
Yeah, fantastic.
You can sing the solo. You can sing the solo.
Really good.
Yeah.
No,
and you also have to remember,
Yeah, you got to be able to sing it.
He's got like a dead animal on his head while he's doing it.
He's got the
how's he do that with a net raccoon gnawing on his skull?
Joe looks.
He's not just a client.
You know me with my list.
And he had
Go ahead.
All right.
plus he had a super clean tone.
It was nice.
Okay. The next one he's throwing in, and he says it's the greatest guitar solo he's ever heard, is Don Felder and Joe Walsh as underrated.
I would say if you're talking about, because he's mentioning Hotel California, the credit to that solo should only go to Felder because he wrote both parts. The story was that they were working on figuring out how to do 2 different things. And Henley came back and said, no, whatever was on that demo, that's the whole solo I want. And so Felder had to go teach him his parts. And
so Walsh's solo, that was Felder's licks.
According to the story, that's what I heard.
Okay. His number 2 is Al Di Meola.
Race with Devil.
Okay.
What did he say? Yeah, I think he mentioned Electric.
Can I just say, so far, 2 of his top 5 underrated guitar players have some impressive wigs.
Oh, yeah.
Dimiola's got an excellent piece.
Dimiola, it looks real. It's one of the few real-looking hair pieces, and it took him like 50 years to get it.
Yeah, he was
being bald in his 20s.
He was balding in 77, right?
Yeah, he was balding in his 20s.
Hilarious.
And he
says, who's number 5?
Well, he would say this is his number 1. He said he's naming them as he's thinking them, but his last one is Pat Travers.
I love you.
I saw that one coming.
I love it.
I
love
Pat,
it. I mean,
I think Pat Thraw was his. I think the best lead work was though his guitarist Pat Thraw did all the good stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, let's go around the horn. Who do you think is the most underrated guitar player in your arsenal of influences to you?
I would have said
wrong answers only, and pick someone that annoys Dave.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Bob Dylan.
Krelmot's going to. He's going to name some like fucking Greg Howe or
No, no.
ahead.
The thing is already been mentioned. I mean, I was thinking about if this question came up, Elliot Easton. I mean, I always would mention him.
Yeah, he's a great player, and he's a lefty.
Mm-hmm. I think to some degree Gary Moore is too.
Is it
because
okay to mention?
He's only known for his blues stuff. He's not known for his stuff before that.
Andrew, you better be joking, Andrew.
What is that, Black Rose?
Yeah, it's so good.
Andrew took my
fucking great.
answer took my answer right there. Andrew got my answer.
I
That's
agree
what
with
I was
Ricky.
gonna say.
You're right. That guy's amazing.
Ty Tabor's
What happened?
good. Yeah. Ty
From,
Tabor's
King's
from
X.
King's X. Yeah.
All right. So wait, you said Elliot Easton. Who do you say, Bing?
Well, somebody just took my answer. I would have said Ty Tabor, but they took my answer. So, I'm gonna go the other way. I think Prince is overrated.
Oh,
Completely.
unbelievable.
In the meantime, I'm going to think of another answer because mine was already mentioned. So.
Yeah, Ben Thomas saying Cucurullo. I know I knew Warren really well for a while. I like Warren. I like the way he plays. What do you got, Dane? Who's your favorite? What you think is the most underrated guitar player? Hidden secret, hidden gem.
Neil
Yes,
Young.
me. You're going to get a thumbs up from Dave on that one.
Oh,
Or thumbs in.
Thumbs in. That's funny.
Neil Young was awesome.
As a
I
lead
don't
player,
know.
no.
It's too many. It's too many.
Andrew Collins is running in to defend Prince. He's terrible.
I won't say he's terrible. I mean, like
He's
it's
unbelievable
just
that people think he's good. He's a basic player. There's nothing. He's a better bass player. He's a better keyboard player.
His rhythm is good.
He's a good player. That's I mean, but the whole thing
He's
is
an
they're
adequate
trying to make
player.
it seem
I
like
was
he's
just about to
second-
say that same
second
word.
coming.
He's
an
better
adequate
guitar
player.
He's a better guitar player than Mick Mars, but not a better guitar player than Neil Schon.
Ping froze.
That was
Who is?
who froze?
I never liked listening
Ooh,
to
Jeff Watson's a great one.
the guy from Cult of Personality in Living Color or Living Color. The lead in Cult
Vernon
of
Reid.
Personality
Vernon-
drove
yeah.
me crazy.
Yeah,
You mean
because
good or
it's
bad?
sloppy as hell.
And everybody says they love that.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's
his lead
very
playing's
very sloppy.
I'm gonna go.
I
with
mean, like
Vernon.
he had some good rhythm chops though, but yeah, his lead playing was all over the place.
I don't know who I would say. Let me
Why
just
don't
say
we
this.
pick one-
I
you sh-
think
you know how you
Brian
should have done it?
May.
You should have done it. Pick the most underrated and who you think is the most overrated.
Go ahead. Why don't you start?
Well, I'm going to start. He gets credit, but I don't think this man gets enough credit that he's due. And a hero of mine, I fucking love Leslie West from Mountain.
Huh?
I think he's severely underrated. Overrated, Tom Morello.
Yeah. By far.
The only people that rate Tom Morello as being like incredible guitar players are the people at the magazines who are trying to appear,
Right.
very smart. They want to be smarter than you. No guitar player that's out there playing music is like, fuck, Tom Morello really shreds. None. I've never heard anybody once. It's like, it's just.
Nile Rodgers is a far better player than Prince, in my opinion. But let me just say this. Brian May, I think, is greatly underrated.
Wow,
Really?
Because
he's a god.
No, he's not are you kidding? If you see on any list where Brian or Hendrix, show me.
Maybe
those
that's 'cause,
guys are.
For me, he's always top 5. So I'm not paying attention to the list. But if he's not, at least in the top 10, there's a problem.
Yeah, he's great. Other underrated guitar players. I mean, I love the guy who played the solo on "Feels So Good" for Chuck Mangione. Grant Giesman. Giesman. Yeah, he's great. And overrated guitar player, I could say there's a million of them. Slash stinks. Prince, I'm not a fan of. I think anybody, Richie Sambora, not a fan. Although I do think the solo for Wanted Dead or Alive was interesting. Yeah, Cesar Rosas from Los Lobos was good.
I don't know which guitar player from Skid Row, whether it was Scotty Hill or Dave Sabo, played the 18 in Life solo, but 18 in Life's guitar solo much better than Dead or Alive. If we're comparing hair rock ballads,
I'm trying to remember the solo.
much better.
The thing about Dead or Alive is it's simple and musical, and it doesn't try to be the flash that everybody else was, which is why I respect it, because I'm like, it really works well for the song. Andy Collins, what did he just say now? That somebody was a Slash is a great player? I don't know anyone that's ever said that.
That was Scotty Hill who played it.
I think he's okay. I think he's a decent player. Is he great? No. I have
another underrated guitar player.
That's why people are getting overrated, is when you take a guy who's a good player and you put him in the status of this guy's great. The guy's great. Does anybody in here besides Andrew Collins think that Slash is a great guitar player? Just one other person. Can some other person come forward and say Slash is great?
No, he's creative, though. He's creative.
I mean, I think Estranged is his best song. Now, Lindsey Buckingham is a great player for sure.
Yeah, that's underrated.
Are we talking technical proficiency or not?
Both. It's got to be a combination. That's a great point Bingham's bringing up. It's called, what's the criteria of these lists? And somebody has to be creative and technical at the same time, but I don't think technical is the sole foundation, but it should be technical enough. You know, like Marty Friedman, you could put on a list against somebody, but is Marty Friedman going to be as good as like Tim Pierce to most people? I think Tim plays for the records. You know what I'm saying? He's just more of a rounded player.
For underrated, I would say Jimmy Hazel too, from Spies.
Completely.
He's really. And for overrated, going to catch a lot of flack. I've said this before in different venues and stuff. I have no hesitation saying it. Eric Clapton.
Absolutely. Overrated. As a player, I've said this a million times. Eric Clapton as a guitar player, not good. Eric Clapton as an artist, I love him. I love him as an artist. I like his songs.
I like a lot of his songs.
Ben Thomas asking my thoughts on Wayne Krantz. I'll say this. I saw Wayne Krantz live in like 90 or 91 when his Signals album came out.
Ooh.
And he's one of my all-time favorite players. He's a monster.
Wayne Krantz
effing
covers
monster.
Rush.
What's that?
Wayne Krantz covers Rush.
Does he?
Signals album.
Oh, yeah, no. It's exactly. His version of Chemistry.
Yeah.
So is Alex Lifeson underrated?
Here's me getting in trouble. If we're talking about technical stuff as opposed to creative stuff, I think Steve Howe is overrated.
Oh, completely.
Steve Howe has
got the worst tone in music.
Sloppy.
He's so sloppy.
Was a beast.
I know how you kids like your guitar riffs sloppy.
You know see
who's
Rush.
Underrated?
I mean, you go see Yes Live. You're like, ooh, looks like we're gonna have a horror first because the Crypt Keeper's on stage. No, Dave, that's Steve Howe.
We're gonna do.
I love
Sunrise.
those Asia albums, though. The first two Asia albums.
So did Cartman.
Well, that was probably Steve Howe's best tone. Was the first Asia album was probably his best tone.
His best tone is the first Asia album and the last Yes album before that first Asia album, the album Drama. Great guitar tone. He started using a Strat. He got rid of that like acoustic-y sound, but remember he did that GTR with Steve Hackett?
When the heart rules the mind.
Yeah.
This is cheating, but How about for underrated guitar players? Every single working guitar player in Nashville is underrated
Yeah, true.
because they don't
There
get
is
talked
there
about
are
at
no
all,
bad
and they're
guitar
all
Yeah,
players
because
in
you got to be
Nashville.
good enough to be there.
they're all
Yeah.
so good. They're better than
Uh.
everybody in rock music.
Bad guitar players don't dare pick up a
Yeah.
guitar in Nashville.
Oh my
None of us
Agreed.
would
How about
pick
this?
up a guitar in Nashville.
Tommy Shaw's awesome. What? Okay, here's something I was thinking about. Aliens land on the planet. They come down. They say, "Listen, we don't want to know anything
Again?
about what you guys are doing. We don't even give two fucks about your planet. We just have one question. Give us one rock and roll song that defines rock and roll to you."
Mm.
And now you have to present the aliens with a song. And honestly, I've thought about this, and I'm down to 2 songs.
That
Oh,
yeah, Warren
define
is my
rock
idol.
and roll.
That
Wouldn't it have to be something from the 50s?
It would have to be a
No.
UFO song.
Are you
big.
kidding me?
Because
50s
rock and
was,
roll is.
they want to know
Yeah.
what's a great rock song. What
aliens-
defines
aliens
rock
need to
you?
fix
rock
Dave's
music.
internet.
Forget the term rock and roll if that makes you think of 50s.
Yeah. Okay, rock, whatever.
Right.
What song defines the whole?
But was I breaking
Yeah, you're breaking up.
up?
Steve Austin, you're breaking
Break,
up.
I was just about
Oh,
to
okay.
say that.
I thought it was you.
A man barely alive. We can rebuild.
Pick. How about want to make it interesting? Pick a song from each decade. One song from each decade that
I think
embodies rock and roll.
I think there's more on the line the way
fuck
that
was
Dave's
that?
presenting it and forcing you into one pick.
I'm going to
But
pick.
you're-
I'm going to give you guys my pick. This is my decided number 1. I'll tell you my number 2 afterwards that I was struggling with. But it's going to be Kansas, Carry On My Wayward Son.
Okay.
I think that's too involved.
To me, it exemplifies rock and roll. It's got all the elements of a
It's
perfect
got
rock and roll
progressive. It's
song.
got rock.
It's got a hook.
Progressive. Pop, progressive. Yeah, I see your point.
I have one that's completely the opposite, but I still think it works for me. You asked that question, and I thought about it for all of 30 seconds, and a song popped into my head. And I think it's my choice. "Hot for Teacher" from Van Halen.
Oh, good one.
Really?
Good one.
Well, I mean,
And you say good one.
Tough as
I
ZZ
think
Top.
the song exemplifies like sex and rebelliousness, which is what you think of rock and roll.
He just says the name of it, and in my head the chorus just goes off. Got it made, got it made, got it made.
And that stupid
The
dance
drums
moves
are
they were
ripping,
doing
the
out of sync
guitars
with
are
each other.
ripping, the tempo's up.
That's
Right.
a good choice.
Well,
Hold on.
If I'm going classic, it's Jailhouse Rock. But the minute you ask the question, the
Yeah.
first song that came to mind, and the one song that keeps coming to mind is "Rock and Roll" by Led Zeppelin. It's got the beat. It drives.
and it follows the.
Dave, you froze. I think Dave froze.
Okay. Yeah.
He's
Hey,
frozen.
your answer froze him.
You fucking froze Dave. Between "Hot for Teacher" and "Rock and Roll," Dave got frozen.
That's right.
Wow.
And they say there's global warming.
I'm not
Dave's
back.
freezing here.
Now you're
There you
back.
are.
Am I not
There
back?
he is.
Did you
Halfway back.
did you and Dane switch internet
All
providers?
right, hold on. I'm switching my internet. Hold on.
Shit. You run like a potato camera. Dane looks crystal clear.
I have a fan blowing.
All right, hold on.
me.
How about now? Am I back?
You're
Am I
back.
back?
You're not clear, but you're back.
No, I know. I can see it. It's something's going on with my internet. I can see it in the top left. It's showing that I'm low, but it'll go back. There it goes. I'm good.
Yeah, I guess I got.
All right. So, what did you say for the song, Dane?
I-
Did I miss Dane's?
Oh.
No.
Oh, Dane did-
If an alien flies down here and they want to hear one rock and roll song,
Yeah.
To define what rock and roll is.
We want to know about.
I
what,
would maybe
what
say
is-
"Rock Around the Clock." Rock around the clock.
I thought
the
about
Happy
that
Days
too.
theme song,
Yeah. Big pop the Big
something like
Bopper.
that. Yeah, something like that.
You think that exemplifies? Let me just say
Bill
this. Hold on a
Haley?
second. Rock Around the Clock
Bill
was
Haley,
dead
yeah.
by 1960. When 62, when the Beatles started coming out, the Stones, that music was dead. Still dead. But now think about that. So that lasted 6 years. Songs from the 70s have lasted 40 years and they're still on the radio nonstop and are more relevant than the songs that are playing today. How is Rock Around the Clock or any of the 50s songs viable?
Happy Days
Because
reruns.
it's a foundation that led to the
Well,
other shit. It's the
Somebody
shit-
says, I want you to exemplify. Well, here's a song that lasted 5 years in pop culture. But I have ones over here that lasted 50 years, but because it's not first, no, come on. When was the last time you listened to Rock Around the Clock? Either one of you guys. And don't say when Happy Days was on last.
Well, that's probably
That's
the
what I was
only
gonna
time
say.
I ever heard that song.
Hey,
I
I
never
have
had the
Happy Days on
45.
in
I
the
never fucking listened to it. The only time I ever heard it was when it was on Happy
Right.
Days.
Back in Black's a great answer.
Yeah, somebody said that.
If you wanted to confuse the aliens, like if they were like, look, we're gonna fuck you over, and you needed to make them like think and get them caught in the loop, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my answer.
It
Yeah,
is.
that got a lot
Doesn't
different.
exemplify
It's
rock?
got yeah, it's got a lot of different. It's got the hard rock thing, and it's got the
Okay, let me
softer
say
edge,
this.
and
If you're going to pick a Queen song, I can live with It's Late. That
I
is a
love that.
fucking perfect rock and roll song. Stairway to Heaven, I'd say no. Bohemian Rhapsody, I'd say no. They're over the top. They're not. I'm talking about what exemplifies rock and roll. That like so. My number two choice that I could was wrestling with was Renegade by Styx. And that's because, folks, I'm a heterosexual. That's the kind of songs that straight men like to listen to.
I'm not so
Yeah,
sure.
the straight men with high voices that look like
Listen,
little
I'm at
girls
the
singing.
Glory Hole the other day at the fucking
should be a-
line in Los Angeles, and I'm telling you, that's
It
what
should be
men like.
something a 3-chord rock progression. 3-chord rock.
If you said
with the
Pretty
4/4
Vacant,
beat.
if you said Pretty Vacant by the Sex Pistols, I would agree with that more than I would Rock Around the Clock. Stray Cat Strut. Something that has that sound. And by the way, there's an underrated guitar player.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brian
he's
said that.
yeah,
for sure.
he's fucking genius. You know who else is underrated? Devin Townsend.
As a guitar player, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I'm not familiar with his playing.
I think Devin Townsend is he can play, but he's a singer, if you ask me. You know what's funny? I actually ran into one of these aliens, and I shared with them the Sam Cooke song "Bring It On Home," and they were listening,
I
and
was
they said
born by the
they said-
river.
wrong song, but right
Oh, I'm
artist.
sorry. Bring It On Home is one that goes. Dum 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 dum.
Bring
Let
it
me see what the
on
melody.
home to stay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the backup singer goes, "Yeah," and you're
Right.
like, "Why is that mix so high?" And that's what the alien said to me. He goes, "Why is that background vocal so high?" I said, "Sorry, it was the 60s,
Howard
it
likes
was
it
so
that
weird."
way.
Dave, the question is
Yeah.
moot because ultimately, aliens going to come down. They're going to want your Buick.
I don't think you guys understood where my perspective was coming on this. I'm like saying, what is the most quintessential rock and roll song anthem that you love that would be like, I'm going to show this to another planet? Like I don't like the
It's
other one's a
different for
mini
every
opera.
person.
No, I know, but you wouldn't give a mini opera and say this exemplifies rock and roll. I'm just a poor boy, nobody. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
I
hard
said
one.
that as
song.
a joke. I said that
No,
to confuse
Krellbach
them.
didn't.
No, I was serious. Yeah.
Yeah, Krellbach. But I'm saying if you're going to pick a Queen song, I mean, Flick of the Wrist, It's Late. There's
that
so
would
many
be
great
good.
Oh,
songs.
I like those better, but I was
Dragon
looking
Attack.
at
Those are rock songs. The other
You
things
know
like
what?
a little foo-foo.
If you had to pick a Queen's, like you can do it by group. If you had to pick a Queen song, what would you pick? One
Oh,
song.
Aliens to listen to, one song?
He said it already. It's Late is my favorite Queen song. So
I would say It's Late. It's a rock and roll song that kicks ass.
We also, can I get the We Will Rock You and Bleeding Into We Are the Champions as one song?
We Are the Champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have to go back to back.
Because if the aliens hear We Are the Champions of the world, then they're not going to get any ideas about taking over the world.
Hey, Dave, My Melancholy
Nelson is,
Blues.
great.
There we go. My Melancholy Blues.
Hugh agrees with me with Carry On My Wayward Son. I don't even think it's close. I'm like, that song, it's a fucking 6-minute, 7-minute barrage. And look, I'm not an artard. When Randy plays it on his guitar.
It's so funny.
It's such a, and Renegade's such a great song. Like, if somebody said to me, listen, aliens are coming, and you have one song to give them to tell it what rock and roll, what's the quinta, and you say the Grand Illusion, the aliens are going to go, fags.
No, it's Raining Men.
Sure.
You love throwing that joke in there. It's unreal.
It just works on so many levels.
Fucking the alien's going to listen to the first few minutes of Grand Illusion and go, oh, you guys have gay people here too?
Exactly.
No, they're gonna say it's Raining Men. It's like Paul Schaefer's one of us.
Hey guys, I'm out of here. I got band practice at 8 o'clock.
All right, enjoy.
All right.
That's all you
Shred,
do,
guys.
Shred plenty.
Thanks, guys.
Ooh, Hugh said "Back in the Saddle"
Bye-bye.
from Aerosmith. That's
That's a great fucking
Great
song.
Hey,
song.
Artemis, really,
That is my
one
favorite.
vision.
I mean,
At
Aerosmith song.
what point does
Right,
Gimme
exactly,
Gimme Fried
MCM.
Chicken fit into?
Back in the Saddle's a great song. Kings and Queens by Aerosmith, I even think is a better song.
Can I drop a teaser for a little
Go
bit
ahead.
later before we get away from ourselves? Everybody, you're not going to want to go anywhere because I found a list I think we're all going to enjoy. Guitar World's top 50 guitar albums of the 80s.
Oh,
That's a good one. That's gonna
Good
be
one. I'm looking at it and I know it's good.
Same old song and dance with the guitar wizardry of Dick Wagner. Last Child's a great tune. I think almost, what's the one that Licking a Promise off Rocks is great. No More, No More off Toys in the Attic is fantastic.
great song. Yeah.
Great record. SOS Too Bad on Get Your Wings is fantastic. But what other songs would be in, like, at least say I'm thinking of, like, I think Jane maybe from Starship
I like
would
that
be
song.
a fantastic song. Or Life is Just a Fantasy by Aldo Nova.
All these aliens are going. That guy that said "Hot for
About-
Teacher" was pretty.
how about
cool. I'm pretty sure
Aliyah?
This guy likes Dennis DeYoung.
Aliyah, Donnie Iris.
Yeah, Ilea, Donis. Yeah, exactly. Cheech is saying "Walk in the Shadows," and I had to look at him and I go, "What did you say? You're through with me. I'm not through with you." You know I love the Ethel Merman of rock and roll, Jeff Tate.
Walk with me.
That's another
Actually,
one.
on that album, I would say "I Dream in Infrared" I like better.
I
I like the Noy
that's a good choice.
Regal. I like London.
How about Walk Away, Joe?
Oh, that might even be a better one. Fuck.
Seems to me.
Yeah.
But wouldn't the aliens, if you threw out there, you're like, oh, here's this song from the '60s or whatever, wouldn't they be like, so you're telling me that this stuff hasn't progressed in the last 50 years?
Right. How about this? The aliens come down here and they crash. And then we have to say to them, listen, you guys figured out how to fly through all kinds of meteors, asteroid belts at the near speed of light, and you can't fucking land? How absurd are these people? Oh, aliens have crashed
there was
on
an
the
alien
plane.
crash.
We got their wreck. Oh yeah, what do you think? Who do you think runs their fucking UFO? United Airlines? They're not crashing. They're fucking flying through asteroids. Yeah, the one thing they're coming here. What are they coming here for? They want to figure out how to land.
I thought they
fuck,
wanted to know what the
Terrain.
best rock and roll song was.
Evil Terrain.
All right. Fuck you all, folks. That's a great bit. I just tried out on you. No one's laughing. It's good stuff.
I'm smiling. I'm
You
smiling.
brought it up 2 weeks ago. We had a whole
And I'm going to
conversation
keep using
about
it so
that
somebody
shit.
laughs.
That was fucking the Y files.
Exactly.
Fucking
Yeah, we can't listen. We're having trouble landing. We've got it pretty much where we can fucking thread a needle at the speed of light going through asteroids, but we can't seem to get around a tree that's just standing there.
got one.
Fucking pigeon. A pigeon got caught. in our
Right, a pigeon hit our wing.
I've got one that's
Fucking
that's
absurd.
similar. I've got one that's similar to this alien bit,
Oh.
but it requires far more thought and is
Uh-oh.
far more complicated to get it done. So here's the challenge.
Go ahead.
You're trying to date a woman and you have to show her this band that you like, but because she's a woman, you have to be able to appeal to her taste and show her a song that that will make her accepting of this musical preference that you have. This yeah, so basically you're trying to pitch a chick on a song. What do you
Anything by Journey.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The easy
Wasp,
road.
fuck like a beast.
Oh, there we go. Good one.
Oh, jeez.
Hilarious. I'm sure that relationship's going far, Joe.
Yeah, Artemis Longmellow says they crashed. Longfellow. Yeah, so these aliens who are so much more intelligent, let me tell you, if they figured out how to drink, they're not even getting the spaceship out of their own atmosphere. Did you guys ever see that thing on Family Guy when they're like showing Ireland before alcohol and they got floating cars, flying cars, and everything, and then
Yeah, I think I've
they
seen
start
that.
drinking and they're back in the fucking Stone Age.
Mm.
All right, Speed for Hire comes in with Crocus Screaming in the Night, a perfect example of what I'm talking about. An anthem.
Hmm.
A song where the alien's going to say, all right, now I'll try what a beer is supposed to be about.
Mm. I don't know that song. Should I?
Screaming in the night, running for my life.
Headhunt is great. I love that song, Headhunt.
Oh, I've heard that song before.
Oh, of course. It's classic. That album's awesome. Eat the Rich, Stayed Awake All Night.
Title track.
You got
Hey, thank you, Chris Thacker. I appreciate you, man.
Balls to the wall.
Appreciate you coming in. Oh, Y&T Summertime. Girls, Cheech jumping in now. I'll
Ooh.
take Mean Streak, too. Mean
Yeah, I
Streak
was
and
gonna say.
Summertime. And Don't Stop Running. Those 3 songs by
Don't
Y&T.
stop running.
You gotta keep on running, don't stop. I love Y&T. Menachetti's awesome. There's a guy who can sing and play
He's
a
underrated.
Microsoft.
Another
Great guitar player. But Summertime Girls, I used to love that song. That was like my guilty pleasure song.
If we're talking about
Yeah, I never dug
and
that song. but it's
Y&T
just-
and all this awful stuff, why not throw in Fly High Michelle?
Oh, hold on a second.
Something
Hang on.
terrible from the
Listen
bullet
to the song.
Enough's enough.
Stop
Enough's
Running
enough,
by
John.
Y&T.
Enough's
I
enough.
guarantee you'll be a fan. Don't Stop Running's the shit. Learn Baby Come Back from Your Lesson. Oh, thanks, Chris.
Baby,
Yeah, there's a lot of songs there that I taught. Caught your show this week. Hey, thanks, Oliver. Yeah, it was a fun show. We had Kenny sitting in on the cajon, and we just played songs that we normally wouldn't play that had a beat, so it was fun. It was a good time. We had a blast. What you couldn't see was the owner, his girlfriend, and all these people were like really focused in on us that night. We had a lot of fun. It was fun.
smooth up.
Yeah. So
Smooth up in you. Bullet Boys.
How about
yeah, I mean,
how about the Stroke? Do we show them the Stroke?
I'd say take the whole Don't Say No album. That whole album's fantastic.
Yeah, take the album, give it to him. Hey, fly off, listen to this, visit me in 10 years.
Yeah, come
Something
back.
like that.
But what you can do is skip Nobody Knows.
Mm.
Yeah, but we like 2 Days Gone.
Oh,
2 Days Gone
walking
is great.
down the street just the other
That was the
day.
flip. That was the flip side of the stroke too. It was the B.
It was a big. It was a 2 Days Gone was had a ton of radio play back in '81. After that album cleared,
I didn't.
You never
I
heard it
didn't
again.
like. I didn't like. I Need You either. I
Need You. I liked it. I dug it. It was different. It was a very there's a soul to it that I liked.
Oh, speaking of 81, I introduced my bandmates to Sheila, which I love.
Yes.
And my drummer was like, "This drummer's freaking awesome. He's a monster."
Yeah. Great
ended
band.
He ended up really liking it. The other guys didn't give a shit, but he was way in. If I can get one more fan for them, I'm happy.
Yeah.
There's
great.
another song on that record called Operation.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
I have the album. I have to go back and revisit it.
Oliver,
I love Time Passages by Al Stewart. I also like Song on the Radio, Border, On the Border. I like a lot of Al Stewart stuff.
Year of the Cat.
What was that? Buy me a ticket on the last train home tonight.
That's Time Passages.
Yeah, it's great.
How old is Al Stewart?
He's got to be 80.
75. Let's say 75. He was 30. I'll say he's 71.
Okay. Any other guesses?
80.
77 years old.
Ooh.
God bless.
77. And I also don't know.
I was right, unless we're on The Price is Right, and then I win because he went over.
Yeah.
True. Very true. I don't know who this guy is. See, this is the problem.
Dave Bid 1 year old.
A bit younger.
Al Stewart is 1 year old. I win.
Right. I love yacht rock.
Is Al Stewart yacht rock?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Year of the Cat.
Well, I figured he was kind
What about
of.
Season of the Witch?
Donovan.
Yep.
Who did it?
Yeah, Donovan did Season of the Witch.
Mellow Yellow and Hurdy Gurdy Man. Sunshine
Oh, he was.
Superman.
Baker
Edgar
Street's Jerry Rafferty. That's great.
So I think the aliens are going to party with me listening to Van Halen.
Well, Van Halen's good. I don't know that I would say
self-appointed winner of that
Mean
one.
Streets or even Beautiful Girls. There's something about Hot for Teacher that I find not appetizing.
Well, I think it's because, like you said, it was a ripoff of ZZ Top. But to John's credit, I look at like, well, hey, it can encompass that era of ZZ Top at the same time it's singing about
but not
all this
like
debauchery
if
of
I
rock and
wanted
roll.
to say to someone, hey, here's some aliens, give them a song by Van Halen that's going to fucking rock their balls off. I'm going to give them Light Up the Sky. Or I'm the One.
Why can't this be love?
Ba-ba-da, shoo-be-doo-wah, ba-da-doom, ba-ba. But I'll tell you what I'm not doing is I'm not giving him any Van Hagar.
No, because you know better.
That's the joke.
But imagine this, the aliens say, hey, listen, we want to... We're thinking about staying here. Can you give us a record to listen to so we can make a decision if we're going to stay here? I'd be like, here's Van Halen 3. We'll see you fucking later, buddy.
The problem is you give them the Sammy Hagar one and they get offended because it's some kind of alien. And they're like, they talk.
Well, it was some kind of... We're aliens. We're not some kind of alien. What the fuck are you talking about?
That is so rotten. Love comes walking in.
To me, I'm saying someone wants to hear a Van Halen song and have their face melted.
I like those albums, though.
It's I'm the One. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying if an alien would have come in here and they're like, I want you to fucking rock my nuts off. And then I'm like, is that what's hanging from your chin? Because our testicles are down here. But no, the guy.
That's a good
but
Baltinians.
I mean, I would give them I Can't Drive 55 over any of the Van Hagar.
Yeah, I would give him anything off
Oh, yeah,
Stanley Hampton.
I like Hagar's
I'll,
hits better than Van Hagar.
I'll Fall in Love Again.
The aliens say 55
Well,
what? 55 parcel?
Remember the Heroes. Great song.
Yeah. Remember the Heroes was good. That's on 3 Lockbox, though. But there was, what's the one that goes, what I like?
Oh, Your Love is Driving Me Crazy.
Fantastic song.
And
that's on Standing.
That. My last band, we played that. We played Fall in Love Again, too. I always got a great response.
Because it's all right with me now. What was the other one, too, when he goes, break out the guitar and bring, there's only one way to rock.
Oh, One Way to Rock, yeah.
Babies on Fire is a great tune. But if you're going to play any song
in the mix,
so that would be a good one. If I'm going to play anything off I like The Devil in Me. I think that's a great. What's the one that? Oh, Before I Forget. That's a great Slipknot tune. My fingers into my eyes. It's the
Psychosocial?
only way. Psychosocial's all right. That's not one of my favorites on that album, though.
I think that one's got a pretty massive groove to it, though. It's pretty good.
But Sulfur Before It, I like better. And I like America is the Killing Name. Hey, Terry, how are you?
Oliver said, what about Satriani? I think if the aliens look at Satriani, they would say, wow, we took our look and made it look bad.
Oh, I take Lee Roth all day over Hagar. And Van Halen. I mean, I think Hagar's a better singer, a much better singer, but I'll take the David Lee Roth Van Halen every day.
Oh, yeah. It's 2 separate bands. Van Hagar wasn't even Van Halen.
I saw a clip last night of Dave doing Van Halen with some backing. Man, he got to stop.
You know, it's not like I'm saying Sammy isn't good. I just think it's almost like Kansas. Steve Walsh is a friggin' monster singer. Elefante was a monster singer, but I like the Steve Walsh stuff better. But I love Elefante. In fact, one of my favorite Cheech and Chong bits is Sister Mary Elefante.
Sister Mary Elephant.
Folks, these jokes are terrible, just the way you like them. Yeah, and let me tell you again, an alien comes up to me and says, listen, here's Surfing with the Alien. Let me know what you think. The alien's going to come back and go, so you guys have gay bars here, huh? Where are they? Where are they? Because there is not one woman going to listen to this record.
One woman alien.
Right.
Maybe the aliens are saying, I mean, what even is a woman? You can't define it.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, if I were gay,
no, aliens
if I were
would be
gay,
like,
I'd be wearing.
If you were,
I'd be wearing the ascot with the pipe, like Charles Nelson Riley, and I'd be walking around every Satriani Steve Vai show I could find. This guy's great, isn't he?
You know who's better?
You just want to be Roger.
Who's that guy that had the crazy mustache
and
would throw confetti from his pocket?
That was Rip Taylor.
He was fucking great.
Yeah. I'd be like Rip Taylor at a fucking Vai show, throwing confetti. Who wants to go back to my house and listen to some more Steve Vai? It's the most wonderful music.
Fucking Center Square. What was that guy's name in the Center Square?
I wouldn't get past the fucking exit before Chris Hansen. What are you doing? Come sit over here.
This alien's only 13 years old. Did you know that?
What are we going to do with this alien?
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. When Lee Roth left the band, I think Lee Roth's first 2 albums, Eat 'Em and Smile and Skyscraper, were better than the Van Halen stuff. Although, let me just say this.
Van Halen stuff.
OU812, Black and Blue is a fantastic song, and Finish What You Started is pretty great.
Summer Nights for honorable mention.
That's probably my favorite song off of not on the 5150.
Oh, that's not on
one?
OU812. Oh, sorry.
Which one?
Yeah.
Summer Nights. I thought that was on
OU812.
Yeah, no, that's 5150. No, but OU812 has, like I said, Black and Blue, which is the song that Pam Smart, the school teacher in New Hampshire, seduced the kid who eventually killed her husband. But she seduced him with the song Black and Blue. Little trivia for you guys.
She didn't seduce him with her boobies and other physical features. She seduced him with a Van Halen song. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, she got naked in front of him and said, "Now what do you want to do?" And he goes, "I don't know." And she's like, "Let me put on Black and Blue." And he goes, "Yeah, now I want to kill your husband."
Right. It's the most ridiculous.
Now he's going to die. I don't know what you did by putting that song on, but your husband has to go.
He's got to go.
He's got to go like June Allison after a six-pack.
Maybe Pamela Smart's husband was responsible for taking Lee Roth out of Van Halen. And he heard the song Black and Blue, and he goes, "This is what happened to Van Halen?" It's
somehow David Lee Roth snuck on the Robinsons' Jupiter 2. And now he's Dr. Smith.
The pain of it all.
Oh, that's funny.
He does, now that you pointed out, he does look like Dr. Smith.
Oh, the pain, William, the pain.
I'm going to post that. I'm going to post that on Facebook tonight.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to put it side by side.
That's really funny.
When did Roth become Dr. Smith?
He looks like Jonathan Harris.
Shit.
He has not aged well. How about some rockers that have not aged well?
Oh, God.
For instance, David Gilmour has aged well. He looks like an older gentleman. He's classy.
Roger Waters.
Even Roger Waters. They look like themselves, but older.
He looks better than he did when he was younger.
Did you see the meme out lately where they're showing the picture of Axl Rose side by side with Benny Hill?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Benny Hill's more handsome. Let me say this. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Page looks like every time I see him, I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot my laundry. He looks like an old Asian woman.
That's hilarious.
We need more Calgon.
Ancient.
No, nobody knows
Secret,
huh? But there's some rockers who haven't aged well. Hey, let me ask you this question. I want you to put in order. Here's a great one. You guys know who the traveling Wigberry is? The traveling Wilburys are? I forget that. They all wear wigs. Let me ask you this. In order of most talented to least talented, the Wilburys, you go.
Jeff Lynne, number 1.
Most talented.
Yep.
I'm giving it to you. I agree.
Number 2.
It's an easy number 2.
Petty.
Yep.
3, Harrison.
Yep.
4, Orbison.
Right.
5, Dylan.
Exactly.
We're not giving any love to Jim Keltner.
Was he playing drums on that?
Yeah. Or Dahani Harrison.
That's Harrison's kid. No, it's just the 5 Wigberries.
Just the 5 Wigberries.
They're all wearing wigs.
Was George Harrison wearing a wig?
Probably.
George Harrison had real hair. No.
Maybe.
No, maybe.
I don't know. You know,
I think he had
Harrison was actually a good singer. He was singing a lot of the backup stuff in the early Beatles stuff. I just hate that people say he's a great guitar player. He was a good guitar player. But I think McCartney was a better guitar player. I think Lennon was a good guitar player, but none of them were fantastic. Well, I take that back. McCartney's guitar solo that he wrote for Maybe I'm Amazed is fantastic. McCartney was definitely a cut above the rest. I don't know if you guys got the jokes when I was playing live. Me and Jim always laugh at the fact that John Lennon always referred to everything as one word. I never really liked the album Pepper. Like he couldn't say Sgt. Pepper. I never liked Pepper. Electric Light Orchestra is doing exactly what the Beatles did after Walrus. It's the fucking best.
I'm unaware of this trend.
Oh yeah, well, you had to be, I guess, around in the 70s watching that's the last time you'll see a Lennon interview. Yeah, Andrew Collins, that's a fun one. Somebody's knocking. I do a lesson on it in the channel.
Yeah. What happened to him anyway?
Who's that?
Lennon.
The aliens gave him. He gave the aliens a copy of Bohemian Rhapsody, and they killed him.
Mm.
I'm going to put the king to bed. I'll be right back, and we can do the list.
Yep.
Yep, Jeff Healy's okay. I don't know.
He's a good player.
He's not overrated or underrated.
He's in Roadhouse, and that earns him some extra points.
Yeah.
You love
I thought you'd be bigger.
No, I'll tell you who else didn't age well is Jakey Lee hasn't aged well.
Didn't you make the joke a few years ago that he looks like the witch from Thinner?
Who would have thought Kevin Tighe would outlive everyone on the cast of friggin' Roadhouse? The guy who played the owner of the Double Deuce, the guy from Emergency.
Oh.
I believe he's still alive, but Swayze's gone. Friggin' Sam Elliott's still alive. Ben Gazzara's gone.
Well, Ben Gazzara was probably 60 in that movie, right?
Yeah, Jeff Healy's gone.
35 years old now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Arel says, I want to talk to you about your friend, Jeff Healy.
That's funny. I get that joke.
Something about Mary?
Yeah.
It's fucking gold. You were following us? I was following her. I always do.
One of the best.
Tucker. That's how I should have answered you, RL. Tucker.
Yeah, that's right. Kelly Preston too was in Roadhouse. She's gone too.
I love her, man.
Kelly Preston died?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She died in 2020. She had cancer. Yeah.
She was also in Twins with Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Okay. Wow, the whole cast of Roadhouse, huh?
Hannah Baum saying,
Yeah,
John
except
might
for
know
Sam
more
Elliott
about
and
Dave
Kevin
Friedman
Tighe.
putting a 1980, a 50-watt Marshall with a built-in variac, like Sir.
Wait, what?
Hannah Baum saying something about what?
It was Kelly Lynch in Roadhouse. I'm sorry. So Kelly.
Oh
Lynch
yeah,
is still
Rel
alive.
said that she's not in.
I always get that. I always get that mixed up.
Sean
yeah,
might
Mischief.
know more about Dave putting out an 87X with a built-in variac. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's the 50-watt Marshall that Asian kid was playing.
I don't think your boy Terry Funk is dead, is he? He is dead. No, he's not. Terry Funk's still alive. So, and Keith David is still alive.
Ooh, I love
We
Keith.
like Keith David.
And so is David Keith.
Let's see. So wait, we're saying Kelly Lynch?
Keith
She's
Davidson
still alive.
and something.
No,
about
Kelly
Mary.
Lynch is still alive.
She lived with
I
Woogie
confused
30
with Kelly
minutes
Preston.
ago.
What about
John.
Julie Michaels? Julie Michaels still alive.
Keith David. She left with
All right.
Woogie 30 minutes ago.
Who proposed this concept that everybody from Roadhouse was dead?
Oh well, I didn't say everyone. I said,
This
you
has
know,
been
how is
debunked.
it that Kevin Tighe's still alive and
Yeah, he's the only one that
from emergency, and then all these other people died. And
Look
Jeff
up Kevin
Healy,
Tighe. I want to see if he's alive. I don't think he's alive now.
What about Benny the Jet or Quidez?
He is.
That is one weird looking cat.
He's alive. He's still alive. He's born 44.
Who?
Kevin Tighe. Tighe, whatever.
Oh, he's born in 45. He's not that old.
44.
Born in
79 years
44?
old.
It's going to be
Yeah.
80. Just got a Kemper Acoustiflex. Go pickups for my acoustic. Acoustifix. Love it. Can get effects without plugging in. Lots of fun. Oh, that's very cool. Dorothy Michaels. Why does that name sound familiar to me? Is that from LA Confidential? What's that from?
Dorothy Michaels.
That's what Cold Roses said. Or is that the person in Mischief? I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know who that
I'm
is.
lost. Michael
Wait, was
Dorsey.
Dorothy Michaels the name of Dustin Hoffman? And
Oh, brilliant.
Is that the joke?
I'm
That's
Edward Kimberly. Edward Kimberly. Great movie. Taxi. Great. What else? How's the amp you're playing going?
How's the amp I'm playing going?
Yeah, like the amp the
Oh, the
amp
one that
you got.
the build?
Yeah, the build.
Oh, it's not even together right now because I'm gotta finish that mod, but Amazon has delayed the shipment of my parts twice now. So
Those sons of bitches.
I'm stuck until I get I'm waiting on some 220K resistors that are going to be the new plate resistors for the preamp tubes.
Nice. Now let me ask you this, John.
Sure.
How many days are we on meat?
Oh, sure. This actually completes the 7th day. Tomorrow will be the 1 week anniversary of
Wow. So
the
today's
first day-
completes the week.
first day fully engaged in it.
How do you feel?
I mean, I feel fine. I'm just irritated that it's so hard to get back on when you fall off.
Yeah.
Because I should be on 9 months or something.
So
But-
did RL tell you that he's going to do it when he gets back?
Yeah, but he also told me he's not going to eat any red meat. So,
No, he did not tell you that.
he totally will never.
He'll eat it.
That's what
He'll
she
be
said.
back.
Eat it and like it.
It's the best.
I just don't get it. It is the best.
It's the greatest. Yeah. And
But-
it'll do
Yeah, I mean, I
wonders. I
feel-
guarantee
I
by
feel-
the end of the 30-day mark, you'll be down 20 pounds.
Sure hope so. I mean, it's already like 5 or 6.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, just water probably falling off, but it I feel great.
And I want to say congrats to Joe.
The problem with it always is you feel great after a week, you feel really good after 2 or 3 weeks, and then something happens, you fall off. 3 months later, you're trying to get back on.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I'm disciplined. I don't.
Yeah, I don't fall off. I'll never go
I
off
don't-
that shit again.
This is the
Yeah,
greatest.
Nice.
Everything else
they're
is just
great,
poison
especially with
for
some
me.
heavy cream bing.
That's right. That's the move.
You know what you
So-
mentioned, Dave, that I a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to say I do that as well, and it's a perfect advice for anybody, because I do the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I fast,
Yeah.
and even on the days when I'm eating, I only have the one meal a day. But I love
Excellent speed.
it is great to get you through that pat of butter. It's
You can eat a pat of butter
a
time.
little square of butter, especially if it's
Yeah.
the Kerry Gold.
Yeah. So let me just say this. Joe is down, I believe, 12 pounds from
Almost
2 weeks.
almost 13.
Almost
Since
Oh,
my
nice.
first weigh in on July 31st, I weighed in at 429, and the last time I had weighed myself was 2 years ago, and it was only a 4-pound difference. So thank you, keto and carnivore, for that. But then I really put the pedal to the metal,
Yep.
and I went, because if I'm going to lose weight, I have to do intermittent fasting. It just won't work. One meal a day, even. But it's almost 13 pounds, so almost a pound a day since I started. So August 14th, this Monday, was my second weigh-in. I want to
That's
do
all.
it once every 2 weeks. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Because the scale will
We'll get
make you crazy.
I think in 2 weeks, by a month, you'll be down. By the end of this year, you'll be 380.
I'm going to be very happy when it breaks under 400.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
And if
a
anyone
month,
want-
maybe 30
if-
days.
If anyone would like to see my review up on Amazon of my reclining lawn chair that supports up to 500 pounds after it fucking buckled under me, I'll post
I'd
the
like
link.
to see. Did you make a video on it? I'd like
Oh
to see
yeah,
that
the
video.
day it happened, you'll see Mikey you see Mikey's legs in the video, and he's coughing. I was fucking pissed.
Elroy just got a Cornish on a guitar, so I get a Cornish on a guitar, but then I traded. Hey Joel, I know I mentioned this earlier. Did you get a chance?
Oh,
Back
you
to
mean the
Room
pedal?
37 movie out. So yeah, it's awesome. Cheech, yes, RL's going to go on it. I don't think I had to convince him. He basically saw me in person and was like, he and his wife were surprised. I think he was, but his wife definitely was, because she said it. How small my waist is, and how I'm a lot thinner in person than you see me in pictures, like on the Instagram and on my Facebook, that I'm a lot thinner. Because I saw Jakey Leaney came out to me and went, thinner.
Never gets
But
old.
yeah, so
Just
that's what sold it. It sold it on a few people. Like when I run into people, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And and I'm like, "I'm selling pencils. I'm on the corner here." No, but they it over 15 pounds in 4 months. A lot of cucumber broth, mostly vegetables. Skip meals every few days. Yeah, Oliver, that's not how we eat. We avoid the vegetables. We avoid. I was gonna say 15 in 4 months. In 4 months on carnivore. I don't know how overweight you are, but you could easily lose about 45 pounds.
Oliver,
But
you
I
got to
stay
consume
away.
fats.
Yeah, this is all about high fat. The thing about meat is that it's high protein and fat, which has a low glycemic index, Cheech. So you're not in storing it as fat. It's fuel also because it's red meat. It's high in vitamins and nutrients. And that's it. A taut preteen Swedish boy. That's gold. Gold.
All right. Ready for the list?
That's funny, Elroy.
Let's go.
Yeah,
The
okay.
list!
So the list tonight is drum roll, please.
Drum roll. It is Guitar World's top 50 guitar albums of the 80s, but it's got 51 on here. So whatever. They don't know how to
They
count.
can't fucking count.
Coming in
MCM Jim, congratulations. And let me just say this anytime someone brings up weight loss. He lost 54 pounds in 6 months and holding at
bless him.
170.
Awesome.
The best meats, I like a New York strip and I like ribeyes. Whatever you like.
Ribeyes
If you
are
like
awesome.
organ meat, that's good. But anything fatty is good. I like a New York strip with a big, thick piece of fat on there.
And let me give you a hint. If what you're eating isn't fatty, have it with bacon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I do. I have it with bacon.
Yeah, bacon with everything.
I just made venison the other day. I put it up on my Facebook page.
Wait, you had
2 hooks
venison?
of
Isn't it early? Isn't it early in the season for venison?
They
It's
were
a-
in
it's
my
a
freezer.
Keenan
Yeah,
joke.
it's like, but anyways, no, I had some venison I had to cook up, so I had some thick sliced bacon. So I cooked the bacon, set that aside, then I cooked the venison, the bacon fat.
Yeah, Hannah Baum. A lot of the guys like beef liver. And who are you watching,
Oh,
Hannah
I love
Baum?
beef liver. I love beef.
Who are you watching? I'm just curious because the guy who kind of got me on it was the Bell brothers, Mark Bell and Chris Bell. But I really like Anthony Chafee. I like Dr. Berry.
He's good. Kemba, yeah.
Yeah, Ken Berry. Yeah.
Ken Berry.
All right, go on. I'm sorry. Go back to the list. If something comes up in the chat, I'm just watching it.
No,
for
no,
the,
it's fine. I like what we're saying in the chat. Okay, coming in at number 51. Album was released when I was a sophomore in high school, and it's the album that Hot for Teacher is on. Van Halen, 1984.
I knew it would be on the list.
Coming in at number
Ekberg's awesome speed. Ekberg is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I watch him too.
coming in at number 50. Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien.
That's iconic. Yeah, I can agree
You
with
can't,
that.
yeah, you can't not say.
As a matter of fact, I'm so for 50 in the 1980s. I'm actually surprised it's not higher.
All right.
I'm actually kind of happy where it is because the top 50, like, it's not my favorite.
Well, it's got to be in there. You know.
Yeah. Coming in at 49, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Texas Flood.
I'm enjoying that where that is. Usually that would be on the list of like in the top 10, and fuck no, it shouldn't be. And then at some point, Krellbau's going to say, is Couldn't Stand the Weather on that? No, Krell, that's its own album.
Coming in at 48,
I've seen him. I've seen the Wolf Pit. Go ahead, sorry.
What? Right. Coming in at 48, a gentleman who needs the initial J
Back of the
to
couch.
distinguish
J. Malm.
himself.
Rising
Yngwie
Force.
J. Malmsteen, Rising Force.
Okay, but I'll say this. If I don't hear Alcatraz, No Parole from Rock and Roll, I'm upset.
I think me, you, and a few other people, the only people that remember that, but I agree with you.
Oh, everyone
I
here
definitely
knows it.
remember. Yeah.
Coming in at number 47, they are back in black. It is AC/DC.
Back in Black is in the 40s.
I wonder what's higher.
It's a
Best
top.
guitar albums
That's
of
like
the 80s.
top 5 selling record of all time, and they put it in the 40s. It's stupid.
I think it might be top 3 of all time.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
I'm looking at 46, and I'm thinking the same thing, because coming in at number 46 is Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz.
For as much as everybody is constantly going on about Randy Rhoads, that's shockingly low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the thing is that I can't argue with the list yet because I don't know what's coming up right now.
That's
Well, I
right.
could argue
If I
right now.
hear any Ramones.
I'm gonna throw this out there just because it's gonna happen, and it's so obnoxious. I put money on it that something like a Pixies record is gonna be in
Don't
the top
say
10.
That's the hipster doofus.
And
That's
I'm
the
gonna be like,
There's
say
no
that.
way that
No,
Black
because we got
Francis.
number 45 is getting hipster doofus, because 45 doesn't deserve to be
Nirvana,
above these
Bleach.
6. No, U2 War.
No, it's no.
I mean, I like the album.
It,
I loved
it
it
could
when
be
it
on,
came
it
out.
could be on the list, but I mean, like, not beating those other ones.
No.
No fucking way.
Let me not beating Blizzard of Oz, but New Year's Day,
Yeah,
Seconds, 40,
Hearts Beat is one.
Two Hearts Beat is one. That was a great record.
The
Oh,
great
yeah,
album.
it is, and
Yeah.
it definitely should be on the list, but I don't think it should have beat out.
But it's guitar albums. Above
Yeah.
Right,
those
but the
other
guitar on
No,
that
there-
record
there
is
was
really
great
raw
guitar.
and good.
ones?
Yeah.
Wow. Coming in at number 44, David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile.
That's a great guitar album,
Yeah.
hands down.
But no
I
way
like
is
it
that
51,
better
50.
guitar album than Blizzard of Oz.
No, it's
No.
not. Well, Blizzard of Oz should have been higher. That's the problem.
Coming in at 43, Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain.
Terrible.
Didn't be on the list.
Nope. No business. Cheech, yes, I do use stevia. I put it in my coffee. Sometimes I just drink the coffee black, but
I make lemonade.
Lemonade.
lemonade?
Lemonade.
I make it too.
Speaking of business, coming in at 42 is Unfinished Business by Danny Gatton.
Great player, but it's just that no one knows the album. I mean, how could it be?
Danny Gatton doesn't even know the record.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I played on that?
This is top RL. The list is top
Guitar
guitar
World's-
albums of the 80s.
Guitar World's top 50 guitar albums of the 80s. Coming in at 41, ZZ Top, Eliminator.
Okay.
I
Great
love
record.
Reverend Billy G,
Great
but I don't
record.
think it should beat out. You know, I mean, like his 70s output was a lot better.
Where is Mark Knopfler on this list? You know he'll be there.
Yeah. Brothers in
80.
Arms will be on there.
No, I hope the other one. Making movies.
Coming in at 40, the Jimi Hendrix Experience live at Winterland.
That doesn't count. That was it released
Because it was
on-
released in the 80s. That's gay.
Ah.
And folks, when I say by gay, just I don't want anyone getting upset. It means that likes the
Sucks
same
dick.
sex of another.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
sucks dick.
Yeah.
Coming
No,
in at-
I don't use meal. No, I just use lemon water and stevia. Right, exactly, RL. I like Steve Morse, the introduction. Go ahead.
Coming in at 39, Sonic Youth Daydream Nation.
Oh, there's the fucking hipster doofus shit. That's higher than Blizzard of Oz.
Okay. Coming in at 38, Metallica Master of Puppets.
I think it's a great guitar album. I don't think it should be beating out the other ones.
Coming in at 37, he's back again. It's Jimi Hendrix Experience Radio 1.
What the fuck?
I never even heard of these two albums.
Oh,
So-
no, I've
These
actually heard of them, but they were
These
just
are re-released. These
Yeah.
are things that like compilations they made after he died in the 80s.
of all unreleased stuff. And
Coming in at number 36, Krell, here it is. Stevie Ray Vaughan couldn't stand the weather.
And just to let Krell know that couldn't
It's
stand the
not-
weather is on that record.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the record. 35 is weird because I would have thought the other one would have been here instead of this. But 35, Satriani's back with Not of This Earth.
that was his first one, and
It's
that's
not.
that's
It's
not
not a
better
good
than
record.
surfing.
It's not good at
No,
all.
Yeah.
it's not.
no.
It's
Yeah.
all canned beats and repetitive. And
I give him surfing, but nothing other than that.
Right.
Okay, coming in at number 34 is John Hyatt. Bring the family.
It's hipster doofus stuff.
I
It's
never heard of
he's
this
a, He's
guy.
a good songwriter. You never heard of John Hyatt?
No.
He's a songwriter more than anything. It's not really a guitar album.
All right, coming in at
Yeah,
number
I think
30.
he's in like the Bonnie Raitt camp, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead now, but
Coming in at 33, Stanley Jordan, Magic Touch.
That was kind of influential back. Wow, that was the 80s. Wow, I almost would have said that was the early 90s. Well, it could belong on the list, not higher than a lot of the other ones.
Lonesome Dove, the list is a Guitar World top 50 guitar records of the 80s.
Yeah. They're missing a lot of stuff because I don't see no Scorpions yet. Coming in at 32, another person I never heard of, David Lindley El Rayo X.
I'm familiar with the album. He's a great slide player, but it's like,
Okay.
it's. I don't know. I actually had that on cassette because I bought a lot of the fucking cutout band. It's not bad, but I don't think it's a guitar album of the 80s.
Coming in at number 31, the Dixie Dregs, industry
Yep,
standards.
Steve Morse.
Yep.
Coming in at 30, Alan Holdsworth, IOU.
Well,
Is Dave frozen?
No, I'm
no.
this guy just messaged me and he says, "Hey, are we still on for September 2nd?"
And it's like, who
And
the
I'm
hell
like,
are you?
"Oh, no, I knew who it was." I'm like, "Oh yeah, he asked me to book a gig, but I didn't know if we confirmed or anything." So I said, "Let me just look at my calendar." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got that on my calendar." So I reached back. I said, "Yeah, I got it. I got the address. We're good." He goes, "Okay." Now I got to remind Jim Saturday, that we have that gig.
Coming in at 29, Frank Zappa, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar.
That's like
First
a
one?
re-release of. Yeah, it's like I've got volume 1, 2, and 3, but that's all stuff basically
it's
from
a
the Chic
compilation.
Booty tour and in '79 and maybe some early '80s stuff. Yeah, I like a lot of stuff on it, but it's like I know where
Are
I
you
can put it.
kidding me?
Coming in at 28, Jeff Beck, Terry Bozzio, and Tony Hymas, Jeff Beck's Guitar Shop.
Guitar Shop. I like that album. It's got some good stuff. Where Were You's a great.
Oh, here's one coming in at 27, one of Dave's favorites. It's London Calling by The Clash.
Terrible.
Above AC/DC, Back in Black, Blizzard of Oz. Yeah. I think the list can officially be called Hipster Doofus. Coming in at 26 is King Crimson, Discipline.
First of all, I brought up that album today to my student and said, "This is an album you have to listen to." Mate Kudasai, Thalo Hunginjit, Elephant Talk, fantastic. And
Talk.
not that I know of anytime soon. I saw you post that, something about Connecticut too. When I find out, we have a couple of things that are brewing, so when I find anything out, I'll let you know. Okay.
All right.
Go
Top
ahead.
25 at number 25, REM, Murmur.
No, give me a break.
I liked Murmur. That was the album with Radio Free Europe and
A guitar album?
no. First of all, I hate REM.
Yeah,
But-
same here.
Murmur at least had Radio Free Europe, which is one song I didn't vomit over. Go ahead.
All right, coming in at 24, Eric Clapton, Crossroads.
No.
That's a box set.
Yeah, in the 80s, I mean, we're not even talking about Journeyman's a great album. August is a great album. Behind the Mask is a great album. Sorry, Behind the Sun.
Yeah, Crossroads is a box set of his career.
Coming in at 23, The Police, Synchronicity.
Who has an Asia poster? Go ahead, what?
23, The Police, Synchronicity.
Guitar.
I like the album before it better.
Yeah.
Ghost of the
Crossroads?
Machine.
Yeah.
Ghost of the Machine.
And
Right.
Okay. 22, Jeff Beck, There and Back.
Is that the one with it Gets Us in the End on it? Gets us all in the
I thought that was a 70s album.
Is that the one with Couldn't Stand the Weather on it?
That's it.
Coming in at 21, Steve Morse Band, The Introduction.
Yeah,
I love
like
that album. Cruise Missile, fantastic.
What's the one that goes do 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 do? The
Cruise
bass.
Missile.
No. Not is that Cruise Missile?
I think it isn't it, or is it General Lee? General
No,
Lee.
that's a different one. Same
Same album. I think it's the Cruise Missile too.
Yeah. Okay.
Jerry
All right.
Peak on bass. Go ahead.
Yep.
Top 20 now. Coming in at number 20, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. It was
No,
huge.
It had to be on the
I
list.
figured it would be there.
I was hoping that would be number 50.
Okay. Coming in at number 19, Alan Holdsworth, Road Games.
Fantastic album. Although I
Oh,
think
Dave.
Metal Fatigue's a better record.
That song, I believe, was on the pipe, wasn't it? The one with the do 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 do
I don't think so.
do.
What's
I'd
the
have
first
to-
song on the album?
First song is, I think it was the introduction, the Mountain Waltz, and Huron River Blues, and On the Pipe. Then
Oh,
Cruise
then maybe
Missile.
it's Introduction. I always
Yeah.
thought it was the first track on the album.
On the pipe.
I gotta go and listen to it again. I haven't listened to that in a long
You know,
time.
it's
Road
Killing
Games
me
is
so
awesome. I think, you know what? It might be better than Metal Fatigue. IOU's a great record too. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just laughing because on the pipe, back where I'm from, that meant you're
Right.
sitting on the bowl, the bowl. Okay. Number 18, Steve Vai, Flexible.
I love that
Not
album.
as good as Passion and Warfare, but it's good.
No,
What you
no,
gonna
but I
with
love
that?
it.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's a rawer version of Steve Vai, and it's very Zappa-esque in some of the songs. I mean, it's got a lot of that comedy in it. I like the record a lot.
Yeah, and Flexible Leftovers as well.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened to him. He stopped eating red meat, and he became a fucking douche. Wait, can I say
Playboy.
that? Oh, I can. I
Playboy.
forgot it's my
Say
show.
that. Coming in at number 17, they're back. It's U2, The Unforgettable Fire.
Fantastic. Now, if Joshua Tree is in this list, there's too much U2. But Unforgettable Fire is a great fucking record. Side one alone is devastating. So good. And don't get me wrong, U2 hasn't put out a good album after 1990.
Coming in at number 16, his third appearance on the list, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, In Step.
Fuck off already with this.
He was
But
Come
Dave,
on.
you're going to be happy with the next two. I promise
Stevie
you.
Ray Vaughan even said that wasn't a good album of his because he was so friggin' high on fucking drugs.
Was he?
Yeah,
Best records are made on drugs. Come on.
Coming in at number 15, Van Halen, Fair Warning.
Now we're talking.
I
Should've
told
been
you.
Before it is before 1984. Yeah.
If
Coming in
it's
at-
81.
Yep. Then Women and Children has to be on there.
Coming in at number 14, Whitesnake, 1987.
Eponymous. Well,
Slide It In's better.
yeah.
So I have to say this. I watched a live. I don't know why it's coming up in my feed. Maybe it was something I saw on Pornhub. But Whitesnake live, and it has nothing to do with it. Live in like 1990 or 88, whatever it was Steve Vai, Adrian Vandenberg, and they sounded like crap. And I don't think Coverdale could sing back then. Could Coverdale ever sing? Can we get some status on that? It was just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Slide It In album. In fact, I'll say Slide It In could be the best guitar album of 1980s. And I'd be okay with that. You love Slide It In, Bingham.
Actually, I'm not that big of a fan of Whitesnake. A little too commercial.
What is it?
It's a little too commercial. I think Whitesnake.
Slide It In?
Whitesnake's kind of boring. Like you know where every
Howie
arrangement's
Simon,
gonna
look
go.
away, Howie. Slide It In was the last of the great Whitesnake albums. Then I thought the Whitesnake eponymous album was like, all right, now we're trying to get girls to like the band. And then they did the album Slip of the Tongue, and it's like, all right, now we're trying to get all the homosexuals to like the band.
Coming in at number 13,
I'm
John
a one-trick
Fogerty,
pony,
center
folks.
field.
Ooh.
Come
Mm.
on.
First of all, let me just say, not a great guitar record, but
Yeah.
a great album. Center
Great
Field's a great song. What's that song I love? Zan's Can't Dance.
Zan's
I love
Dance, yeah. But it'll take your money.
I think
Old
I
man
think
love
down
it.
the road.
some people in this room might remember. I absolutely hate John.
Rock and
Fogerty.
roll girls. Oh, I like John.
John
Fogerty.
Fogerty's voice grinds on me so bad.
It can. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I tell you what, he came from California, but when he sang, he sounded like he was a Cajun. Somehow.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Oh,
I
Coming in
heard
at
that's because before he went on stage, he would take a fistful of circus peanuts. He loved that banana flavored candy. Ooh, OCD. All right, what do you got? What do you got there, Joe? Sorry.
Coming in at number 12, Jimmy Page, Outrider.
No way.
No, awful. He's on
No
so
way.
much heroin. It's just
yeah.
awful.
How the fuck
None
did
of it
that
sounds
happen?
good.
Hipster doofus.
It's only on there because they want
Jeez.
to pretend like he was.
Gee, should Mercury Rising be on there before?
They should have had the firm's first album. None of this nonsense of Jimmy
that would
Page
have been a good
Outrider.
choice. That would have
Fuck
been a
yeah,
good
every
choice.
song is great on that.
Radioactive.
Yeah, did I tell you guys I'm getting a box of
Dave froze.
Kintsugi's
Froze me
tomorrow?
No, you froze.
No?
Say it again.
Box
I
of
froze?
what?
Oh, I'm getting a box of Kintsugi's tomorrow, I was telling you guys.
Oh,
Man.
really? Cool. I just smoked my last
Yeah,
one this week.
Yeah. All right, go on.
Coming in at number 11. I never heard of him. It's Michael Hedges, Aerial Boundaries.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I had the
very
album.
familiar.
It's an acoustic open string Wyndham Hill.
Yep.
Coming in at
Yeah.
number 10.
I mean, this
I
great
could
should
already
be that
hear
high.
Dave pissing and moaning at this. It's one of my all-time favorite albums from 1985. Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. Here
That
we
was,
go.
80, that was 84.
You're-
That was
you're-
84.
Was it 84?
Yeah.
Hey, I got left back. What do you want?
The
You rolled
only
the small
reason I
bus.
don't like it is because it stinks.
Oh,
Thank you.
fucker.
That's the only reason.
No, it's overplayed, and I don't think the songs, like the song "Perfect Strangers," sounds like they said, "Hey guys, why don't we try to make a song that sounds like Kashmir, but that isn't interesting or has a decent melody?" All right, we can do that.
Dave's like, I'll say it's a good album, except for one thing. What's that?
It's
I
not.
don't wanna.
Coming in at number
Yeah.
9, Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms.
There
it would
it
be
is.
there.
Not a fan of that album. I like the album before it. I like two before it.
Looks like we got some hipster doofus activity for the next 4.
This high?
One of them
Oh,
not
God.
bad. Yeah, well, coming in at number 8, that David Lindley and El Rayo X is back with Very Greasy.
David Lindley's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
He's the
but I don't
slide
know.
guitar player that plays for
Jackson
Brown.
Not very familiar with him. Coming in at number 7 is Sun Seals, Midnight Sun.
No idea.
Oh, I know who it is, but I mean, like, what the fuck?
All right, here's something at least I had on CD. Coming in at number 6 is The Cult with Sonic Temple.
That high?
It shouldn't be that high.
So
It's
maybe
not terrible, but
Maybe the list is not curated in order. It's just top 50. Period. But it still shouldn't be there. And
Coming in at
I
number-
like Billy Duffy. I think he's a fun guitar player, but it doesn't belong on that list.
well, we're hitting the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is XTC, Oranges and Lemons.
Guitar album? And I couldn't tell you anything about Oranges and Lemon. I mean, I like Skylarking, but I mean, like, I'm a casual XTC fan. I'm very familiar with that
The
album.
final 4, we're coming back to some sanity, though.
The final countdown, Europe.
I like that album. Coming in at number 4, Van Halen, Women and Children First.
Well, that had to be on there.
Dave, comments?
My favorite Van Halen album.
Okay.
That's
Coming
number
in-
10?
That's number 4.
5.
Where the
4.
fuck did you go? That's number 4. Coming in at
Okay.
number 3, Eric Johnson, Tones.
No.
No. I have. I mean, there's a lot of singing on, and it's like really aggravating vocals on it. But
Aggravating or irritating?
irritating,
Okay.
aggravating, motivating. No,
Well, we got two
demotivating.
left. Coming in at number 2, Steve Morse, High Tension Wires.
I love that album, but I don't think it should be that high. Highland Wedding is like one of my favorite songs from Steve Morse all the time. And Too Many Notes is on that too.
Coming in at number 1 on the album cover, the man is fighting a 3-headed dragon with his guitar.
Trilogy?
Trilogy?
J. Malmsteen Trilogy.
My favorite Malmsteen album, but I wouldn't have put that at number 1.
It was a surprise to me too when I saw
I think
it there.
that's Bingham's favorite singer in that album.
No, it's my
Bowles?
favorite. Yeah, he's terrible.
know.
Terrible.
You love Mark Bowles.
No, he's
Green
absolutely
is
awful.
in love.
How do you put that album? And I like Trilogy a lot. How do you put that album in front of No Parole from Rock and Roll? Either Live Sentence or the original studio album. What the hell is going on?
How's
I don't
Journey
think-
Escape not
I'm
on there?
convinced-
Journey Escape.
I'm convinced that this list
That's
is
a
not
good point.
curated in order. There's no way it is. It doesn't make sense.
No. Well,
Yeah.
Journey
But there's-
Escape is a great one.
Can I
There are
can I
some-
Billy
comment on
Squire,
that?
Don't Say No.
Can I
There are
comment
some
on that?
glaring issues.
The albums are listed in order from killer to jaw-droppingly awesome. Order from 50 to 1, depending on your perspective. Please note there are actually 51 albums in the gallery, as there was a tie for 50th place. So this is what they're saying the order is. The list was made in early 1990.
Oh, jeez.
So, does anybody else find it
hilarious,
surprising
Cole.
that there's nothing on there from either Neil Schon or from Iron Maiden? Nothing.
Or Judas
Yeah,
Priest.
exactly.
Or
Priest.
Priest.
And 1990,
Shit, you
King's
could
X
even
was
put-
kind of big at the time too.
You could even
So
put
it's like,
Dokken and Rat in here. It's the 80s.
Yeah, Lynch didn't make the list. Jakey Lee
Yeah.
didn't make the list.
Dawkins' Tooth and Nail album should be on this. And I'm looking, if I say Dawkins should be on this list with Tooth
Yeah,
and
you
Nail,
don't even like Lynch.
I don't
Yeah.
even like him. And I think that's a very important record. And I also think, I don't know about the Rat one so much, but I'm going to say, yeah, it probably should be. It was huge during that time.
Out of the cellar.
Yeah.
Huge.
yeah. Wow, there's a lot missing.
But Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance, is it
Yeah.
in here?
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's not one Maiden, and it's the 80s.
Yeah, that's
not
a
one
little
Priest,
surprising.
not one Maiden.
You could even. What about Dio? He could. be
Night
in there.
Ranger, great
Yeah.
one MC
Night
album.
Ranger.
Fuck, Night Ranger could get in there.
Night Ranger's first two albums.
Oh, no Scorpions,
Are
Blackout.
fantastic.
No
isn't there?
Scorpions. I said that earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no Scorpions, no
Yeah, well, I know T-Boy said that too. Blackout, isn't there?
no Shanker.
Yeah. MSG, that first, the second MSG album's fantastic.
There were a
Um,
few on that list I'd replace with Bon Jovi.
Well, there's a couple
I
things
like
on the
Bon
list that
Jovi.
certainly don't make sense. We can all agree that a Hendrix compilation recorded in the in the 60s that they released in
Two
the
Hendrix
80s
compilations.
shouldn't be there.
No. And you're
I'm
going to put
perfectly
that.
fine with all of the outside of rock and roll stuff like
Or
Lindley.
an Eric
I
Clapton,
agree
It's
with all
or an
that
almost
stuff.
Eric Clapton retrospective too.
First of
CD
all,
retrospective.
Blizzard of Oz is on this list, but Diary
No,
is nowhere to be
Diary's
found.
not
Yeah.
right.
Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules aren't
Yeah,
on this
that's
list.
not
There's
on
something.
Something
Heaven and
rotten
Hell,
here.
for not being on this list, the creator editor of this list should be Rochambeau. Yeah, and 3 Stevie Ray Vaughns. If we haven't bored you with the first 2 albums, here's In Step. Why don't
Casey
you
didn't
throw
get
in
enough
Brother
blues.
to Brother?
Well, look, you had Jimmy Page with Outrider. Shouldn't have been nowhere near the list.
No.
What
No.
was the,
Um,
what was the
that-
Night
that-
Ranger record? Midnight something? I can't remember.
Midnight Madness.
Midnight Madness.
Yeah, that should be
Yep.
on there.
Night Dawn Patrol too.
Dawn Patrol's
Yeah,
great.
just anything that had like that radio viability. I mean, it is a guitar record for sure.
I mean, I would almost be accepting of Autograph, Turn Up the Radio.
Oh.
Almost. But some of this stuff, what year was Triumph Allied Forces?
Early
Allied Force,
80s.
that was 81, I
Yeah.
believe.
Are you guys familiar with that song?
Like
Allied
the good
Forces.
fight. Oh.
I haven't
Not
heard it
the
in years,
song.
but yeah.
Let me tell you the lyrics to this song for a moment.
Uh-oh.
Tell ya,
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
this band, what the hell were they thinking? Here we go, folks. I've got something on my mind I want you to know. Rock troops are on the move. It's starting to show. Paratroopers everywhere. Can't you see? Strategic weapons are something we don't need. Allied forces in every nation. Allied forces going to take control. Allied forces of my generations. Allied forces of rock and roll.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
It's just ridiculous. Oh yeah, rock troops are on the move. Yeah,
Rock troops. Here come the troops.
It was
you've
written
got
by
the
his
enemy
cousin-
rearing
his cousin
back.
Mike.
Hey, listen, somewhere there's going to be a jailbreak tonight.
Right. But you know when they say rock troops are on the move, if there was actually a rock troop, an army of rock musicians, I would say it's very easy to beat them, folks. Here's the tip. Strike in the morning. They'll still be in bed. The rock troops aren't getting up till about 12:30 in the afternoon. They're going to fucking hit the bong, fucking play a few video games. Then they'll decide, you know what? Let's get out there and fight. Yeah, your house has already been decimated. They figured you deadbeats out.
Yeah, there's
why
a great
are-
band
why are
name.
the
No,
rock
Cheech,
troops.
I'm familiar with their whole catalog, but that song keeps coming in on my Spotify mix when I'm in the gym, and I'm like, what the fuck are these lyrics? One time I was just listening to them, like, rock troops are on the move. I got something on my mind.
I got a question about Spotify. Have any
Go
of
ahead.
you had to suffer through that fucking? What does your Spotify AI DJ sound like?
I don't use
You
the
know,
program, so I have no idea.
I wouldn't know because I use Mutify now.
Yeah, they
Which
just
is
have
something
they just have
using-
commercials.
No.
Yeah.
You look for it on Spotify. I came across it by accident one day. You now, based upon anything you've ever listened to, you have a AI DJ that will talk to you by name. And mine, they think someone must have heard somewhere I'm an Italian from New York. So mine sounds like a half-assed, jacked up fucking John Leguizamo, and I want to kick him up the fucking ass.
I know, I haven't
just
had
plays-
that, but
Based
if they
upon-
did, I wouldn't know.
Joseph, based upon what you was listening to last summer. And it's like, wait, I never fucking listened to that before in my life. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I need
Try
to tell
it.
you, let me finish my thought here. It's like if you have Spotify and you got the free version, you get Mutify app and it mutes all the commercials. So it just goes
But then you're
dead
missing
silent
the
during the
important
commercial.
stuff, Krellbar.
Like,
You're missing
get the
stuff
jab.
like I'm vaccinated for Prevnar with
Oh.
Prevnar. I'm in risk of pneumococcal pneumonia. You're in risk of being a fucking brainwashed idiot. Stop getting jabbed with every little thing they're
At
selling you.
risk? At risk? It sounds like they're not at risk. They just fell into it.
Oh my god! But those commercials, and then also the Instacart. Oh, what is she? Whatever it is, it's they have the black voice actors who are trying to sound like overly white. You can't fool me. I'm an audio guy. I hear someone talking. I could tell you if they're black or white. Anybody want to challenge me on that? I don't care. We could easily go on. But I'm telling, and they have it, and the girl's like, come on. Oh, whatever those commercials are, they drive me nuts. They drive me nuts. By
I'm
the
in
way,
bliss.
Everett Cummins,
I don't-
Bill Burr is, I grew up with Bill Burr. He was the year behind me in high school. From my hometown. Anyways, I don't know what busk means. Do I ever busk? Is anyone know what
when
busk
you,
means?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
when you
that-
go out
play
in the
for money.
street. You go out in like a street to the subway with your case, and they throw change in there.
Oh no, hell no. No.
Dave's got class.
Does Dave
It
look like
must
the
have
kind
rubbed-
of guy that would do that?
Yeah, I'm
Would
out
you
there with
like a
Tracy
pencil?
Chapman.
Would
you
you like
imagine?
a pencil?
You've got a fast car. I go out there sometimes in blackface with a wig and do my Tracy Chapman in front of the coupe in front of Harvard Square. You got a fast car. I don't know. No.
Well,
Wow,
It's-
Lonesome Dove sold most of his shit today. What's the occasion? What is the occasion, Lonesome Dove? I gotta make Jukebox a moderator for a
Well,
second.
we're
Hold on.
waiting.
All right. Bingham's gone? No, he's back.
Oh, I almost did the Irish
Just
goodbye.
hitting buttons.
Oh,
Oh, Lonesome Dove's just getting rid of stuff.
Who can blame him? I want to do the same.
Yeah. I'm trying to get rid of 2 guitars. And like I said, somebody tried to trade a Sir guitar for me, and I'm just like, I don't want another guitar. I'm trying to get rid of shit. I mean, I would take an amp. I would take I would take an Origin or a vintage modern.
now what was he trading the Sir for?
If I was being like the other guitar player in my band, my buddy Chris, I would say I'm trying to get rid of a bunch of shit. And then the moment you say, "Yeah, I'm selling 2 guitars," I'd be like, "Ooh, what are you getting rid of?"
Right, exactly.
Mm.
Cheech, I'll have a cigar tonight. The steaks I've already eaten. I'm done for the day with food.
Ah, yes. How many steaks?
So Bingham, have you moved
One
up to
big one.
Story or Stogie? I thought you meant Stogie.
What?
Bingham, what? How many meals do you want a day?
Just kind of when I'm hungry.
All right, that's good.
And frankly, like this morning, I had band practice last night, so this morning I got up to take the kid to school, and I had like 0 sleep, so I was just grumpy, wasn't feeling it, wasn't hungry, so I literally just had coffee, and then I eventually had lunch at like 1 o'clock, and I'm starving right now. I'm gonna eat something right now.
Nice.
But
Have you been
that's
enjoying
it,
the
but-
pork rinds?
I do have some, yes.
They're great.
I have that. My typical add to my coffee is like a dollop of heavy cream.
Yeah,
I do.
good stuff.
I do the heavy cream in the coffee, so I'm getting calories there. But
Yeah.
the benefit of getting away from all the sugar and stuff is like I'm not hungry often.
Yeah, but those calories are all from fat, and so they have no impact on your.
No. I understand that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that like when you eat carbs regularly, you tend to crave them
yeah,
all the time.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
as of right now, I'm not really hungry all the time. I mean, I'm hungry now because I'm thinking about it, and I hadn't eaten in 6 hours. But
Now, as far as
even
pork rinds,
that, I'm not dying.
Right.
if you want to try pork rinds, get the cracklins, because what they do is they still have parts of pig skin on it, and that they render that, and it like melts in your mouth.
Where do I
I
find
like.
those?
I'm not sure if they have them out there, but I forget the brand. It's something like Mix something.
By the way, have you guys
Max.
this is completely unrelated, but I laugh every time I see it. Have you guys seen the white people taco night on like Instagram and stuff like that?
No, I
It's
don't
the
have
funniest
Instagram.
song ever.
No.
I love it. It's just a song. People make tacos, and it's their videos. They make tacos, and they got this song. White people
That's appropriation.
taco night. We buy, what do they say? We buy hard shells from the grocery store. We buy our ground beef from the grocery store. It's just funny as hell. You gotta see it.
Meanwhile, most of the
cracklins.
Yeah.
Yep,
Meanwhile,
cracklins.
most of the stuff in Mexico, like the music, has been is totally based on German polka music. So it's like I like when they go, "Oh, you're appropriating." What? Everyone steals everyone's shit. That's how it goes. You don't like it? Fuck off.
The people that say that are pseudo intellectual buttheads.
Yeah.
It's like,
They're
I wanna
buttheads.
sound smart. It's like, get away. So stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 10:40.
All righty, folks. I'd say we call it. I'm gonna
10:40.
go.
Ooh.
Chicharrones, yes. Chicharrones
Chicharrones.
are
Right,
the that's the Goya.
Well, yeah, sure. I see that at my local Northgate market all the time.
No, you can
Northgate
buy
Market.
grass-fed meat, Cheech. I'm not worried about GMO as much as I'm worried about the fucking the chemical poison that they're putting in oils, and I'm more concerned with omega-6 and sugars. So I don't really. That's not my number one concern.
Well,
Although I don't know, most of the
I
stuff
just-
says non-GMO.
I just want to say, as far as GMO, people think that's a recent thing. I mean, corn, when it was that, real corn stalks used to only bear like one piece of corn on a stalk, and they had to modify it. And they did that years and years
First of all,
ago.
if they didn't modify
So it was
vegetables to
modified, yeah.
begin with, you couldn't even eat one because it was
Yeah.
all poison. Tomatoes, they had to all genetically modify those over time to make them edible. Anyways,
I'm not a big fan of the tomato raw. I
Yeah,
like
I'm
Yeah,
not-
same here.
I mean,
Same
who
here.
doesn't
I'm
like
not-
bolognese, but like I don't like tomatoes raw.
You have to cook the tomato, or as long as it's the flesh and it's like in salsa or something like that, I'm fine with that.
I'll never eat a tomato again. How do you like that? I don't give a shit.
Nah.
Doesn't appeal to me.
Attack of the killer
Your boy Tom Brady doesn't
tomatoes.
eat tomatoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
nightshades.
nightshade. And by the way, Joe would appreciate if you pronounce the word properly. It's tomatoes.
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 Tomato.
Oh, he just said,
Tomatoes.
tomato.
I was at a party when I was like 19 years
Tobacco.
old, and what's that singer's name who sang? Al Jarreau was at the party, and he had a little bit of a buzz. And we were in the kitchen talking to Al Jarreau, and this big, heavy guy from New York walks up to him and goes, "Dude, I know you." And Al's like smiling and like he recognizes that he's Al Jarreau, and he goes, "You was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes." Al spent like 15 minutes trying to explain to the guy that he's a singer because Al was pretty drunk. And the guy couldn't get it. Anyways, Al finally gets irritated, walks away, and he fucking looks at me and goes, "This guy thinks I'm serious." I lost it. I'm like, this guy's a fucking wizard. A wizard, I tell you.
Oh, that's
I'm
really
sitting there
funny.
with my jaw open going, this guy's right in his face going, "No." He's like, "No, I sing. I had a bunch of hits." He goes, "Sing? You was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes."
It
was
yeah,
like-
the black general, I think it was.
That's really
It was in-
It was fucking gold. I'll never forget it.
Why are
But
people
the
talking
fucking
about
guy
it
looking
more?
at me and going, "This
Yeah.
guy thinks I'm
fuck,
serious." I was like,
unbelievable.
"You're a wizard.
Yeah, I heard
A
about
true,
that.
a true star."
Wizard of True Star, Mr. Rundgren.
Yeah, great show. Love it. Keep coming. All right, everyone, listen, we are going to call it a night. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank Bingham because I know he's going to skip. There he goes. He hates goodbyes. I want to say thanks to Joe for coming and being on the show. I know he's exhausted. He had a long week. It's been a long day, Helen. And
Hey,
Krellbar.
everybody. Let me
thanks to
add something really
Krellbar. You
quick.
guys want to say anything before we go?
Yeah, one thing. I got a new video up on my channel. Anyone wants to see it? Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Also, guys, Jukebox Jimmy's a good buddy of mine and good guitar player. You can see him. His name in the chat is Juke Bizzle. He's just starting his YouTube channel. So, guys, go over to Juke Bizzle and give him a subscribe. And I think he's got a couple of guitar videos in there, but show Juke some love.
Okay, it is done.
Jukebox Jimmy.
I'm-
All right, everybody,
subscribed.
have a great night. I want to thank everyone once again for being here. And as always, very good.
Bye.